Welcome back to Legalese 123, where we are covering cases across America. Hello and welcome back to Legalese 123. I'm your host, Missy K. Hope everybody is doing well on this Friday, I'm going to say 16th. That is correct. 16th of January. Oh boy. Well, again, we are thawing and freezing. Our driveway looks like it's an ice skating rink. It is bananas. We try to salt it, but it's never enough. It's never enough. So I hope that you are doing well. I hope that this January is doing well for you. Do you have any resolutions? Are you sticking to those resolutions? Are you just sort of just winging it and just going through life? Well, luckily for you, we are in trial. We are on day 3. I know I'm behind. I will catch up over the weekend. Don't you worry. But it is a holiday weekend, so I'm assuming that it will be courting on Monday. I would assume that it is a federal holiday. So, because the schools aren't in session due to the Martin Luther King Day event, so it is a day of remembrance for Mr. Martin Luther King. Very important day. Justice and freedom and all that jazz. So, here we are. We are on day 3. We wrapped up with Juliana Magalhaes. She was the au pair involved in the Brendan Banfield account. What did she know? What did she plan? She pretty much just blamed everything on him. The defense attorney who was cross-examining her was all over the map. And it was very painful to watch. I even had it on 1.5 speed because it was, I wish I could have it on 1.75 speed because it needed to go that fast, but I couldn't understand anything and keep up with what was going on. So we did it at 1.5. It was very painful. I am not sure where this defense attorney is going. I don't know what his points are. He keeps going over the same thing over and over again. She kept saying, I don't know, I don't recall, and kind of kept fighting with him, saying that even if you ask me these questions, I'm going to tell you the same thing. And there was even a moment where the prosecution was like, judge, asked and answered. These are the same questions over and over again. And they went up to the bench and he came back and was able to ask the questions. So hopefully we'll get better. Hopefully we'll do better. Right now, it is not looking good. If I'm a juror, you're a jury. It's not, the prosecution is doing a tremendous job right now. So let's get into it. Let's see who we have coming up today. And then, maybe today will go a little bit better. Crossing our fingers, right? All right. So I think I have this on normal speed for the moment. So let's see where we go. And then maybe we'll speed it up.
Process of admitting them into evidence, they would be able to admit without objection.
Oh my goodness. Well, that is really fast. So I don't know. Whoa. Okay. So it's
right now, right here.
We're going to back it up. Apparently, they must be talking about the presence of the jury.
Good morning, sir.
Oh, okay. Nope, we're getting right into
Carol,
it.
are we ready for the jury?
If I may,
Yes.
would like to address a preliminary matter.
Sure, you don't have to approach, they're not here, that's fine, that's okay.
I'm going to go through approximately 80 photos today
Okay.
with my jury witnesses.
Sure.
During the course of the morning. Mr. Carroll has had the opportunity to look at those photos.
Could you just use the microphone? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, nobody can hear you, lady.
Mr. Carroll has had the opportunity to review
Let's
those photos, but would like
Let's do closed captions because that helps
his
us.
client to do so. I
Okay.
believe it would take approximately 5 minutes, just because he's seen the pictures before. It's just understanding which ones I'm offering. If we could have 5 minutes for him to look at the photos, it would eliminate the need for me to say, offer into evidence,
Well,
offer into
that's
evidence.
something to do before trial. Court starts at 10. We have the jury ready.
Yes, ma'am, I did attempt to do that on a number of occasions. I don't think Mr. Carroll was able to get them to his client, which is the issue. On Mr. Carroll's behalf, I'm asking that if we can take a few minutes for his client to review them, it would expedite the process of admitting them into evidence. They would be able to admit without
If you
objection.
could do it right now, right here, I'm not going anywhere. We're ready to start trial.
As long as he can see them, Judge, that's the thing.
And they're connected, and I can scroll through them on his screen right now.
If that's what you want to do.
I feel like I have to.
Okay. I would prefer that this happens before trial.
Excuse me?
I would prefer that this had happened before we're ready with the jury sitting behind, waiting for us.
Miss Penny, tell them.
Just let me know when you're ready.
That is amazing. So she's like, hey, we got the jury waiting. Why are we doing this? This is not good. You know, Judge Bev would not be happy about this. But there probably what happened was he wants to go over it with his client. His client was probably still in custody, not having access to the computer screen, not having access to the electronics, and this is the only time that they could do it. All right, but we can zoom, right? So we are going to zoom. Miss Penny is not happy, as she should be, because the jury is waiting. But here we go. Who do we have now? Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. Woohoo! It's almost time for the weekend, and it's a 3-day weekend for some people. So hope you have some great plans. I plan to go through this trial so we can get caught up. That's my plan. Sad plan, but it's
Do you
okay.
swear or affirm to testify truthfully in this case under penalty of law?
And maybe do some knitting. And maybe I'll share with you what I knitted. I got a grand scheme of something. All right, Mr. Who You Are. Okay, this is the Commonwealth. Oh boy.
Thank you.
Been a hot
Good morning,
minute.
officer.
Good morning.
Can you hear me okay?
I can.
All right. Can you please state your
Seventh
name
witness.
and spell it for the court record?
Kenner Fortner, Kenner Fortner.
All right. And how are you employed?
I'm currently employed as a sergeant with the Fairfax County Police Department.
How long have you been with Fairfax County?
I've been with Fairfax County for 10 years.
Were you assigned to a particular unit in 2023?
I was a crime scene detective in 2023.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and speed this up a little bit. And then if we need to, we can always slow it down.
All right. And were you in that role on February 24th, 2023?
I was.
Okay. On that date, did you respond to an incident on Stablebrook Way?
I did.
Why were you called out?
I was called out to assist with the scene documentation of a reported homicide.
And what was your role in that investigation?
I took scene photographs.
Okay. And let me hear from you. What did you observe upon your arrival?
When I arrived on scene, the scene had already been secured by patrol officers. Christine Banfield had been transported to the hospital, and the
Oh,
only person
wait. You secure a scene? Huh. That's proper procedure.
remaining within the scene was Joseph Ryan, who had been declared deceased.
So let me start you with some photographs. Judge, if I can offer into evidence Commonwealths 80 through 89 and have those published to the witness,
All right.
the jury,
80
and the gallery.
Through 89 in evidence and can be published to the jury and gallery. No objection.
Oh, say to the gallery too?
All right, thank you. So starting with this first picture, Commonwealths 80, starting outside of the home on Stablebrook Way, how many cars did you observe?
There were 4 cars of interest.
Okay, and this picture here, what do we see?
4
This
cars.
is a black Hyundai Tucson.
Were you able to later determine who it was primarily driven by?
It was a government-owned vehicle registered to the IRS, driven by Brendan Banfield.
All right, thank you. And in this photograph, we see 2 more vehicles. Can you tell me about them?
Yes, so in the driveway, the vehicle parked in the left spot of the driveway is a navy blue Volkswagen ID that was registered to Christine Banfield. The silver Jeep Cherokee on the right parking space is registered to a Constance Ryan.
All right.
Constance
And-
Ryan.
This particular vehicle, this photograph was taken in your shop, is that correct?
This was taken in the crime scene vehicle bay. It was originally parked in the cul-de-sac.
Okay, and do we know who this car was registered to or driven by?
This vehicle was registered to a Brendan Banfield.
Okay.
Is that 82, just for the record, when you show?
Yes, ma'am, I
Oh,
apologize.
that's fine.
So this was 82,
Okay, thank you.
the white Ford Fusion. All right, moving into the basement of the home, Is it entirely below ground or does it have an above ground exit?
The basement exit is a walkout style, which is level to the ground.
Okay, and can you describe the layout of the basement?
Yeah, so if you are standing at the basement stairs, directly to your left at this doorway here leads to an unfinished storage area. If you can continue forward a few feet, you'd be standing in the living room area of the basement, which also included a
this?
desk and computer.
There's a
To
baby
the right
gate,
of the living room area is a bedroom.
white thing on the
And then to the
side.
left of the living room area was a home gym workout area. And then if you orient yourself to where you're now looking at the workout area with the living room behind you, along the left wall was a bathroom. And then finally, another door which led to the same storage unfinished area.
So in your walk through the basement, did you notice anything out of the ordinary?
No,
Okay.
He's not
Looking at
wearing
this
a tie
photograph
today.
here, Commonwealth's 83. Can you tell me, was there a gate at the bottom of the basement stairs?
there was.
Okay,
Thank you.
from the photograph, it appears
Thank
to
you.
be about hip height. Is that accurate?
Yes,
Okay, well, my hips anyway, perhaps someone taller it's lower, but did it look like it was intended to serve a purpose?
at the time that I found it is as it was in this photo.
All right. Did you notice a lock on the door at the top of the basement stairs?
Yes,
Okay, so looking at Commonwealth's 84 here, is that a photograph of the lock that you observed?
that is a photograph of the lock that I observed.
Okay, was it engaged when you saw it?
No, it's as it was.
Okay.
Yes, I
Moving up to
wondered
the
if
first
they locked,
floor, there was a kitchen and a living area?
Yes,
Okay, so looking at
so I wondered if they locked the daughter down in the basement because they talk about that. But he said it wasn't engaged, so
Commonwealth's 85, is this a photograph of the angle of the living area from the kitchen?
yes,
Okay. In this photograph, can I draw your attention to the window area and the stationary object in front of it? Can you
yes.
tell me what that was?
That was a bar cart style counter with 2 bar stools in front of it.
Okay. What, if anything, did you find in the kitchen?
There was a laptop on the kitchen island.
So here in Commonwealth's 86, are you able to see the laptop?
Yes, it's on the right-hand
Is
corner.
it the black object here in the corner?
Yes,
Okay, thank you. Did you find what was later identified as Christine Banfield's cell phone?
yes,
Looking at Commonwealth's 87, is this the bar cart you previously described?
it is. This is the back side of the bar cart.
Okay, and where did you find the phone?
The phone is going to be in the middle top drawer of this bar cart.
All right, so looking at Commonwealth's 88, is that the drawer you're talking about extended?
Yes,
Okay, and what do we see there
Where'd
in
they
the middle of
find
the
it?
drawer?
it's going to be the cell phone in question.
All right, Commonwealth's 89, is that the cell phone?
Yes,
how'd they find it?
And
Did they
Commonwealth's
ask?
90,
What do they
is this
call
the
it?
backside of the phone
Ping
you
it?
found?
yes.
90 we hadn't put in evidence yet, so I took
Oh, I
that off the
apologize.
screen. So do you want 90 in?
I do.
I understand there's no objection to 90 in evidence. Okay, go ahead. Thank you, Shannon.
Well, thank goodness it wasn't anything to fart.
Judge, I would then
Wait,
offer
picture
Commonwealth's
90.
91 through 97 into evidence.
All right, again, I understand there's no objection. Okay, all
I
right,
apologize, Judge. I think I had said 98 originally and was just not clear in my speech.
okay,
Thank you. All
90
right.
to 97, okay.
Detective Porter, did you have the opportunity to then move upstairs in the home?
Yes,
All right, and did you take photographs of the bedroom belonging to Juliana?
yes.
Okay, is this that bedroom?
This is her bedroom.
And how did you identify this bedroom as hers?
There's a Brazilian flag, excuse me, above the bed, and I also was able to locate an expired Virginia driver's license for Juliana on the dresser.
All right.
Expired
Commonwealth's
license.
92, is this still her bedroom?
Yes,
What is it that we see on the dresser to the left?
there are hygiene products.
Her personal effects?
Yes,
All right. Commonwealth's 93, is this Juliana's closet?
this is.
All right, was there anything that caught your attention in that closet?
There were red lingerie style clothing items, and then the yellow t-shirt with the green border on the sleeves.
Why are
Did
those
you have
of
the
interest?
opportunity to look for any signs of forced entry in the home?
I did.
Okay, and did you make any observations that would have indicated there was a strong?
Okay, I have an issue with this. Okay. Question. You have an au pair living in your house. She's a beautiful young woman. She's 20 some years old. Again, I think I asked this before, but I mean, you trust your husband, you trust that everything is going to be okay. But were there signs that, hey, something's going on? And I mean, you have the right to go into her bedroom and look at her stuff. Now, mind you, that wouldn't be very nice, but you'd be curious to do that. I mean, it's in plain sight right here, right? You just open up her closet, be like, what's this for, right? Now, mind you, she probably has a personal life, and probably they allow her to have her days off, etc., and whatever. But I don't know. I'd be suspicious. That's just me. Tell me if you would be suspicious too.
Trouble at any other area in the home other than the primary bedroom?
I did not locate any obvious signs.
Thank you. Did you have the opportunity to return to the home on October 13th, 2023?
I did,
Why were you there on that date?
for a subsequent search warrant.
Okay. And on that date, did you again photograph the house?
I did,
Did you inspect the bedroom that had been Juliana's?
yes.
Directing you to Commonwealth's 94, is this the same room?
This is the same room.
How were you able to identify it?
The Brazilian flag above the bed.
Did you notice that anything had changed?
There were no longer any items in the closet.
How about anywhere else in the room? Were her personal effects still on that dresser, if you recall?
I do not recall the dresser.
Okay. Did you eventually find her clothes?
I did.
Where did you find them?
They had been moved to the primary bedroom's closet.
Commonwealth's 95, is this the primary bedroom closet?
Yes.
And was there anything that you saw in the closet that made it clear to you they were Juliana's clothes?
There were the red lingerie style clothing items and the yellow t-shirt with the green hem on the sleeves.
All right. And
Okay.
Commonwealth's 90,
Just for context, just timeline context, if you don't know. The unaliving of Christine and Joe happened February, I think, 23rd, 2024. He is there on October 13th, 2024. And this is, I think, that's when she got arrested. I think she got arrested. I should have put a timeline together. I'm sorry. I think that's when she got arrested. Anyways, we'll continue on. Oh my gosh. We'll continue.
6, another angle of the same closet.
Yes.
And we see the yellow and green shirt there on the second row.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Had there been any other changes in the primary bedroom?
They had gotten new flooring, new bedroom furniture, and pictures that had once featured Brendan and Christine had been taken down and replaced with Brendan and Juliana together.
So showing you Commonwealth's 97, is this the primary bedroom?
This is,
You see
In
that picture
October
right
of
there?
2023, 8 months after the murders.
yes,
Right there.
And
Picture of them
zoom in
too, right
here.
there.
Is this one of the photographs you were speaking of?
it is.
Okay. And did we see others in the room?
Yes, that is a second
Oh
photo.
boy.
All right.
Oh my
Detective
goodness.
Porter, I don't have any other questions for you. Please answer any directed to you by Mr. Carroll.
All right, cross-examination.
Oh my gosh.
Detective Fortner, there's just a couple of questions based on some of the things that you said, not too many. Cummel's number 94 is obviously a picture, and in a moment it shows something, but there was questions asked about you doing an investigation as to any other signs of struggle or forced entry in the house other than the master bedroom.
Yes.
Okay. Describe for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what would you do to come to the conclusion that there was none of those things?
So I would inspect all of the doors to see if there are any obvious signs or damage to the framing of the door, which I did not find. There were no debris found on the ground to indicate anything had broken. In terms of the furniture in the house, I didn't see anything turned over in an unusual manner to indicate there was struggle or forced entry anywhere.
When did you do that in relation to the incident?
So when I first arrived on scene, my primary task was taking scene photos as everything was. And as I was doing that, I was also checking those areas.
Okay, so this happened instantaneously on February 24th.
Upon my arrival, yes.
And when was that?
Just after 9 a.m.
Okay. And so at that point, had you had any sort of a briefing as to what the expectations were with this crime scene?
Just that it was a report of a homicide.
Okay. Was there anything that suggested a break-in or anybody say there was going to be a break-in?
No, no one had indicated that.
Okay. So this is just something that you do as part of your crime scene duties?
Correct, just documenting.
Okay. And it wasn't surprising for you after you kind of heard more about the case that there weren't forced entry or other signs of struggle anywhere other than the master bedroom?
I wouldn't expect to see struggle anywhere other than the master bedroom.
Okay. Now,
What wasn't the question?
the places where you chose to take pictures, were you directed to take certain pictures, or do you just go ahead and just take as many pictures as you can and then see where it goes from there?
So my ultimate goal when I'm taking scene photographs are to take overall photographs to indicate everything as best I can. Typically, these come from the four corners of the room from different angles. And then if there's an area of interest, I then come in and take mid-range and then close-up pictures of those items or areas of interest.
And that was those were your decisions, I guess, was the question I was asking.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know any further questions.
All right, redirect.
Nothing, Your Honor, thank you.
Is this witness subject to recall?
He is not.
Do you need to, okay, you're free to go, sir. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Your Honor.
All right, your next witness,
Detective O.J. Falk.
Detective Falk.
Okay, Commonwealth witness number 8.
And Your Honor, if you will terminate the display.
It is.
Thank you.
Some Falk. Police person.
Thank you. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Oh, I like his suit. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Good morning, sir. Can you
Look,
please
his
state
tie,
and spell your
too.
name for the court record?
Olin J. Falk IV. Falk spelled F
Oh.
as in Frank, A-U-L-K.
Thank you.
The
Directing your
fourth.
attention to February 24th of 2023. On that date, how were you employed?
I was employed as a crime scene detective with the Fairfax County Police Department.
Are you now retired?
I am retired.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, he's
Taking you back to
retired.
that day, did you have the opportunity to investigate a vehicle later determined to belong to Joseph Ryan?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay. What were you able to see upon your inspection of that vehicle?
Within the vehicle on the driver's floorboard, there were 2 red cellular phones laying underneath the brake and the gas pedal.
All right. I'm going to show you a picture that's been marked as Camels 155. I'm going to ask that that be admitted into
Two
evidence along with
red
156 and
phones?
displayed to the jury and the gallery.
No objection, correct?
Yes.
All right. Detective Falk, do you recognize the photo?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to show you a picture that's been marked as Camels 155. I'm going to ask that that be admitted into evidence along with 156 and displayed to the jury and the gallery.
No objection, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, Detective Falk, do you recognize this photo?
Yes, ma'am.
Are those the telephones that you observed in the vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
And directing you to 156, is that another photograph of the phones?
It is with the door open.
Okay, and were those items collected as evidence to your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am, they were.
Okay. Had you disturbed them prior to taking these photos?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so that's where you found them.
Yes.
All right, that's all I have for this witness, Judge. Thank you.
All right, cross-examination. All right, is this witness subject to recall?
He is not.
All right, you're free to go, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, your next witness,
Detective Perry Leach.
Detective Leach.
Do you swear or affirm to testify truthfully?
Thank you. Good
Oh, he's
morning,
got a
sir. How
big
are you?
binder.
Good
It's
morning.
going to be very
Can you
quick.
please state and spell your name for the court record?
It's Terry Leach, Terry Leach.
How are you currently employed?
With the Fairfax County Police.
Are you assigned to a particular unit?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do for that unit?
I'm a detective with the Major crime scene unit.
All right. How long have you
Major
held that position?
crimes.
I've been with the crime scene unit for 22 years, with the last 8.5 in major crimes.
All right. Were you employed in that role
boy.
on February 24th, 2023?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. On that date, did you respond to an incident at Stablebrook Way?
Yes, ma'am.
Approximately what time did you arrive?
It was approximately 9:44 a.m.
All right. And who was on scene when you arrived, if you recall?
When I got on scene, there was several patrol units, homicide detectives. From my unit, there was Detective Falk, Detective Fortner, Sergeant Fortner now, and Detective Szyminski and myself.
All right. What was your role in this investigation?
I was assigned as the lead crime scene detective.
And what are the general responsibilities of a lead crime scene detective?
The lead crime scene detective is the primary liaisons between the crime scene section and the lead homicide detective. We're also responsible for managing the scene, delegating out tasks. We also work if there's any needs for any more personnel or equipment. We go with our supervisors. And after we clear scenes, we're responsible for all the evidence handling, documentation. If there's any lab submissions or anything like that, we take care of it.
And that will carry through to today, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so if we want evidence, it's coming from you, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. When you
I like how
entered the
she said
Banfield's
that.
primary bedroom on that day, February 24th, 2023, what were your initial observations?
When you first go into the bedroom, on your left-hand side would be I call it a sitting area. It's like a little side room. We're separated from the main bedroom area by a see-through fireplace. In the main room, you had a bed, and it had a nightstand on each side. To your immediate right would be a long dresser with a TV on top of it. On the far wall was a tall dresser. On that same wall as the dresser with the TV was the double doors that led into the primary bathroom, which then had a closet off of it.
Okay. How did you and your team go about documenting this scene?
Once we did our initial walkthrough, we first did photography, we did all our photos, and then I had Detective Szymanski go through with a Faro laser scanner.
All right, tell me about that Faro laser scanner. What does it do?
The Faro is a laser device, and it sits on top of a tripod. And what it does, it uses LiDAR technology. It will spin in a 360 degrees. As it's spinning, it'll do laser measurements. It'll do millions of points of measurement.
They use that for house tours. So remember in 2020, when COVID happened, and if you were selling or buying a house, I forget what they called it, something like map something another, I'm mistaken, but that's what they used to go and map out your house. So just FYI. So now it's also being used for law enforcement. Interesting.
And then once that's completed, it'll go around one more time, and it'll take photos. Then when we
Right.
process it back at the office with software developed just for that scanner, it will create 3D models and 2D models. The 2Ds are called orthos, and all that is, it's a bird's eye view of what the scanner built.
You shared one of those orthos with me, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, I'm going to ask at this point in time to admit into evidence Commonwealth 98 under seal and publish it to the witness and the jury.
All right, no objection, correct? Okay, 98.
Probably because it has terrible
Can you see the Faro on your?
Yes, ma'am. It's the ortho scan of this second floor.
Okay, so help us orient, and it's a really busy picture, you would agree?
Yes, ma'am.
There's a lot going on because this is an interpretation of what was actually present at the scene from this angle and aerial view. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if you can see where I've kind of zoomed us in here to this black rectangle at the top that my cursor is on, what is that?
That's going to be the foyer to the main floor, bottom
Okay.
floor. What happened is why it's black is the Faro is a line of sight.
So it drops down. It's 2 stories, right?
It's a
The foyer
2 stories,
is
a
wide
very
open.
tall foyer. Yes, ma'am. And
Okay.
that's the stairs to the left right there. That would be the
Yep.
stairs coming up from the landing.
Okay, tell me about, on the left of our screen, this bedroom here.
That was the Au Pair's bedroom.
Okay, and if I zoom out a little bit and reorient us, what's going on in this bedroom in the far left lower corner?
That's the Banfield's daughter's room,
Okay, and this middle bedroom?
guest room.
Okay, so taking us back out to the hallway and then shifting over, which, we're gonna do it like that. What room is this?
And that's going to be the primary suite, primary bedroom.
Okay, and that's the far right of Commonwealth 98, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In looking at this bedroom, we have a bed, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You spoke of a dresser. Is that this object that my cursor is on here?
That's the dresser with the TV on it, ma'am.
Okay. And this area that I'm cursoring over, is that the passageway into the bathroom?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, which would then make this room a bathroom, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now that we've oriented ourselves, was Joe Ryan's body still on scene when you arrived?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And approximately how long did his body remain on scene while you did your work?
It was there for several hours.
Okay. And is that how long it took you to document the scene?
We had to get a search warrant, doing the scene documentation, waiting for a medical investigator to arrive on scene
Okay. When was his body removed?
later in the
Well,
day. It was
later.
late, it was that day, but as soon as the medical investigator arrives,
Okay, but
Later in
your
the day.
work continued after his body was removed, is that correct?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Judge, I'm going to offer exhibits 99
Okay,
through 101 under seal.
all right, and no objection, correct? Okay. 99,
And-
100, and 101 under seal.
Thank you. If they can be shared with the witness and the jury. All right, starting here with Commonwealth's 99. This photo depicts what? What do we see here?
And that's gonna be a photo from the bathroom back out into the main area of the bedroom, and that is Joe Ryan's body.
Okay, is this how the scene looked when you arrived?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so before you had begun processing any of the items that you eventually collected?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Commonwealth's 100, is this a photograph of Joseph Ryan's body?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what observations did you make about his body upon your arrival?
Upon arrival, I was documenting was first that his shirt was pulled up. There was a chest seal on the left side. The hands, right hand was in that position as you see it here, along with his right hand. The pants were unbuttoned and disheveled in the front. Right leg was straight and the left leg is underneath the bed with a purple pillow over it.
Did you do any investigation to determine whether or not that was the position of his body when first responders arrived on scene?
Once I had access to the body worn camera, I watched that to see what the officers originally came into. And when they first came in, the shirt was down and the hands were across his chest.
All right. Looking at this photo around Joseph Ryan's head, what is his head on? Let's start with that.
His head was resting on the dog bed.
Okay. And there's a checkered cloth there as well. Were you able to determine what that was?
Underneath it was a pair of pajama bottoms, that was what I refer to as pajama bottoms, and a pair of black underwear.
All right. And tell me about this blood stain that we see immediately below on this photo, Joseph Ryan's head.
Talking about the one man on the carpet.
Yes.
There's a flow pattern. It flowed from Mr. Ryan's head, flowed across and down onto the floor where it started to pool and collect.
All right. Was there blood anywhere else on Mr. Ryan's body that you observed?
There was blood on his face, hands. There was some on his clothes. There was some on his chest, arms.
All right. Did you notice anything about the bed frame? I'm going to zoom in just a little bit if I can. Here. What is that mark?
Bed frame had chipping. It's a laminate material over the bed frame, and you can see where pieces were broke off. There's this one large piece. And later, when we continued on investigating, you could take your fingers in that area and you could pull the laminate in that area.
I'm going to move you to Commonwealth's 101. Is this another angle of the same area of the scene?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And again, we see the chip in the bed frame here. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You indicated Joseph Ryan's legs were under the bed.
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Judge, I would move to admit photographs 102 through 123.
All right, and there's no objection, correct?
Okay.
All right, 102 to 123 in evidence. Thank you.
All right, looking at Commonwealth's 102. It appears that the scene has changed. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what has happened since the last photograph?
Since the last photograph, Joe Ryan's body was removed. The blankets and things that you saw on the floor, they were picked up and moved.
And what did you observe now that the items had been removed on the bed frame itself?
On the bed frame itself, if you come over here to if you're viewing the photo, be on the left-hand side, we found one blood stain on the side of the frame.
All right, I'm going to move then to Commonwealth's 103. Is that the area where you observed the blood stain?
Yes, ma'am, it'd be to the right of the ruler.
We're going to zoom in one more time. 104,
Yes, ma'am.
that's the blood stain.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you later send a swab of that suspected blood out for testing as item 71?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
Looking at Commonwealth's 105. We're back in time before the items were picked up, but let's talk about those items that you collected. What was in this pile of fabric that we see here?
I had two blankets, a sheet, and a towel. The blankets, one was a real dark blue with a white Sherpa on one side. The other blanket was blue on both sides. Sheet was white with stripes, and then he had a towel.
Okay, let's talk about the blue blanket with the white Sherpa. Directing you to Commonwealth's 106. Is this that blanket?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what you've done with it here.
This is back at our facility to document it. I hung it before we could do photos of it and document the blood stains on it. What you see is the top part would be what was near the dresser, and the stuff you see, the stains you see down towards the bottom was what would be towards the foot of the bed.
And those stains appear gray in this photo. Is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And let's look at Commonwealth's 107. Is that the reverse of the blanket?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the Sherpa side?
Yes, ma'am.
And again, the dark marks we see, what are those?
Blood stains.
Commonwealth's 108. What is this object?
And that would be the sheet.
Okay, and again, where is this photo taken?
This photo was taken in our facility.
Okay. The marks we see on the sheet, what are those?
More blood stains, ma'am.
All right, and there was a lighter blue blanket you mentioned?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Commonwealth's 109. Is this that blanket?
Yes, ma'am.
And again, what did you observe on the blanket?
More blood stains.
Okay, so let's talk about Commonwealth's 110. What is this object?
That's the towel, ma'am.
Okay, so again, where was this towel located?
On the floor with all those bed linens near the foot of the bed.
Did you happen to, in your review of the body worn camera, see where the towel was when first responders arrived?
It was a little bit further away from the bed. When the first responders came, you could see the bed linens and things from firemen, patrol officers were trying to do life saving. The linens and stuff started to roll and move towards the bed more.
Was this towel on Christine Banfield?
No, ma'am.
Does this towel have any evidence of heavy staining or blood absorption?
In my opinion, no, ma'am.
So these blankets were moved as the officers addressed Christine Banfield's injuries and attempted to rescue Joe Ryan. Could the blankets that we saw a moment ago have transferred blood to the carpet as they were moved?
Yes.
Were they saturated?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so there was a lot of blood on those items.
Yes, ma'am.
Could have ended up on the carpet as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So looking at the carpet, can you approximate here where Christine Banfield's body was found? This is Commonwealth's 111.
I use body worn camera. I watched the body worn camera to determine that. And it would be the stain that you see on the right-hand side. That is the vicinity of her head.
What did you find when you removed the carpet relative to these stains?
And what we ended up doing was we pulled the carpet back. Our question was we wanted to see how far down the stains would go. And when we did that, we found that the stain on the left-hand side, underneath the carpet is a foam pad, then you got the subfloor. The blood soaked through the carpet, through the foam pad, and then onto the subfloor and created another stain there. The stain on the right, same scenario, again, it's soaking down through. But when we got to the subfloor, there's just a little stain, a much smaller stain than what we found from the stain on the left-hand side.
So to summarize, there was more blood deposited in the stain on the left-hand side than the right.
Yes, ma'am.
You need your microphone, Mr. Carroll, I cannot hear it.
I would object to Ms. Sands' conclusion as to what the detectives just commented on in terms of her question.
What's the objection?
Well, I believe it's without foundation, and I believe that she's leading.
Overruled. All right, good, continue.
Let's talk about the areas of the carpet that you had tested. Looking at this photograph, and we'll zoom in just a moment, but did you have either of these two large stains tested?
No, ma'am.
Okay, why not?
When I presented to the state lab with the evidence that I had, they didn't see the probative value in it.
All right. Did they give you any explanation for why?
Because her body was there.
Okay. So looking at Commonwealth's 112, did you take swabs from the stains on the carpet that we see here?
Yes, ma'am. If you take where the scale is at and come below it.
All right,
Like
that large
Yes, ma'am.
stamp, if you will.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and was that item 42?
That was item 42. I did another swab, which would have been item 43. If you come above the scale, you'll see another stain in there. What I did is I took another sample from the center of it.
And when we're talking about these two stains, to distinguish, we've got 43, and the shape of 43 is different from 42, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how would you describe 43 as a stain?
That's a stain to me. It was passive blood droplets falling down onto
Okay.
the carpet.
And what was different about 42? What kind of stain was that?
42 was one large concentrated stain.
Thank you. I'm going to direct your attention to Commonwealth's 113. Did you find a knife?
Yes, ma'am.
And where was the knife found?
The knife was found underneath the blankets, between the edge of the blankets and the bed. And the only thing we could see when we arrived was the handle. And the knife was sitting on its backside, so it's blade up. And then the handle was towards the bed.
Did your review of the body-worn camera tell you anything about the final position of the knife?
This is not the original position of the knife.
Okay, so what did you observe on body worn? I think we've all seen it too and talked about it, but what did you observe on body worn?
On body worn camera, the blankets were, if you're viewing this photo, the blankets have been more to the left. The knife was completely exposed. And you could see during the life saving that officers and firemen stepped on the knife a few times and they got kicked and moved around as they were trying to work.
Okay, did you collect this item?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you send it to the lab for testing as item 10?
Yes, ma'am.
Going to have you look at Commonwealth's 114. Is that the knife and the photograph that accompanied it to the lab?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. So let's talk about guns. Commonwealth's 115. Did you observe any weapons at the scene other than the knife?
Yes, ma'am. There was 2 handguns.
Okay, can you describe those 2 items for me?
One gun was a Glock 19M with a light kit on it, and the second one was a Glock 43X.
All right, is this photograph of the 19M?
Yes, ma'am.
And the flashlight, you mentioned the light on it that you said, is that the red ring that we
Yes.
see at the end?
Yes, ma'am. It's the light kit. It's a flashlight underneath the barrel of the gun.
Okay. Were you able to identify who owned that weapon?
It was Mr. Brendan Banfield's duty weapon.
Where was it located upon your arrival?
When I arrived, it was on the left side of the bed, about halfway, resting on its right side.
Again, after reviewing body worn camera, were you able to determine if that gun had been moved?
It was moved, ma'am.
All right, do you know where it was moved from?
It was moved from the front left corner of the bed. It was resting on its left side with the grip portion near the closest to the edge.
Okay, if we're looking at the bed, if I'm standing at the foot of the bed, is it on my right or is it on the left?
Be on your right.
On my right. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Looking at Commonwealth's 116, orienting myself, this is the primary bed, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and on the right hand of this photo, is that where you observed the gun?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, on the body worn camera.
Yes.
Okay, and was there any residue on this sheet?
There was 2 blood stains on that bed. The one on the right near the edge, and then there's another one on the front edge. And that was from medical waste. Because when I picked up that evidence, that when we were clearing off the bed, when I picked up those items, there was blood on them.
Okay, did you send this sheet to the lab for testing?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'll show you Commonwealth's 117. Did you make the markings on the photo here?
Yes,
The
ma'am.
red that we see? What were you intending to communicate with the markings that you have on the sheet?
I spoke with the state lab about what we were requesting for stains. And because I knew the one was from medical waste, there was no need to process that because we know where it came from, the point of origin. But the one on the right-hand side is the one I wanted. So I sent this so they could have a reference to what I was talking to them about and showing it to them.
Okay, if you had just sent the big old sheet to the lab without any specifics, what would have been the response?
They would start processing the whole
Okay.
sheet.
All right, thank you. So Commonwealth's 119, what do we see photographed here?
That was more blood spatter on the wall.
Did you swab those items and send them, sorry, that item and send it to the lab?
Yes, ma'am. I took that largest stain you see to the left of the ruler. That's the one I submitted to the lab.
Yeah, I had wondered, was there blood spatter from the knife? Usually that occurs. So wanted to see if there was that so they can kind of tell where was she in relation to everything that was happening. So ultimately, right? I mean, I don't really know what. Okay, so I think the plan was that they lured Joe Ryan to come in to force his way into the room to pretend unalive Christine. And in the end, what they really wanted to happen was that Joe comes in, obviously he shoots Joe, he unalives Christine, but they say it was Joe who did it. And I mean, interesting plan, right? But if you was Brendan wearing gloves? That's my question. Was he wearing gloves? Because, okay, the evidence will tell us exactly what happened. I'll back it up just a smidge.
You swab those items and send them, sorry, that item and send it to the lab?
Yes, ma'am. I took that largest stain you see to the left of the ruler. That's the one I submitted to the lab.
Okay, and that was,
I'm sorry, you said 119, but it says 118.
oh, I'm sorry, 118, Your Honor.
Okay, thank
Almost
you.
118. I
Okay,
apologize.
that's all right, I just want to make sure. Go ahead, I apologize.
Thank you. And this is now Commonwealth's 119. Is that a closer photograph of the same stain?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and again, that was sent to the lab as item 39.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. One more here. Commonwealth's 120.
More
What
splatter.
did you process in this photograph?
This would be the laundry basket. And what we're looking at is in this photo is the front of that laundry basket. Again, I took a swab with its blood stains on here. And if you go down bottom center, you can see a convergence of two stains, of blood spatter. That's where I took the sample for the lab.
All right, and was that sent to the lab as item 41?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you took another swab of the laundry basket, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And while this photo doesn't necessarily zoom in on it, describe for us from where you took the second swab on the laundry basket.
The second swab would have been on the left-hand side and be the side furthest from the dresser on the curtain side.
All right, and that's Commonwealth's 121 that we're looking at?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that went to the lab as item 56, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Commonwealth's 122. What do we see depicted here?
This would be the dog bed once Joe Ryan's body was removed.
And again, that black checkered item was determined to be Christine's pajama bottoms, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I see there's some black fabric to the left as well. What is that?
That's the underwear, ma'am.
Okay. Did you inspect those items?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you make any observations about them apart from the blood?
Apart from the blood, one pant leg was inside out and the other pant leg had the underwear around it. If you took the crotch region of the underwear, it was torn, ripped, separated from the other side.
All right. And Judge, if I can terminate the display for just a moment.
Oh, so he disclosed her because they did
I'm going
said
to
that
take
she
you back
didn't
to
have any clothes
Commonwealth's
on.
105, which was previously admitted, not under seal.
Oh my
Judge, if this
gosh.
can be displayed to the witness and the jury in the gallery.
Okay,
Detective Leach, there's a piece of black fabric to the left in the photograph near the edge of the bed. What was that?
It was a black shirt.
Okay. Did you make any observations about that shirt other than the fact that it had blood on it?
When we took the shirt and lifted up and was able to document it better, we found that the back of the shirt was completely cut. There wasn't one smooth cut. You could tell it was jagged because you'd have a cut, little pull, cut, pulling it up.
All right. Was it in the center of the shirt that it was cut? Was it to the side?
I'd say center. It was more towards the center.
Okay. And Judge, I'm going to ask to terminate the display.
Okay, is he saying that Joe went in and disclothed her? And again, remember, the defense is saying that, oh, she planned this. This is what she wanted. She planned this. She was the author of the emails and everything. But just let's play devil's advocate here and say that that wasn't the case and that they lured Joe to do this and she had no idea. Wow, can you just manage? Oh gosh, you managed the panic that she had, and then the panic that she was being stabbed by her husband. Oh, poor Christine. I'll back it up just a little.
There wasn't one smooth cut. You could tell it was jagged because you'd have a cut, little pull, cut, pulling it up.
All right. Was it in the center of the shirt that it was cut? Was it to the side?
I'd say center. It was more towards the center.
Okay. And Judge, I'm going to ask to terminate the display. Offer into evidence Commonwealth's 123 and 124 under seal.
all right, and no objection again, correct? 123 and 124 under seal.
Boo, we don't get to see those. But do you really want to?
All right, Detective Leach,
Oh.
if the court can publish the photos to the jury and the witness. Tell me about this photograph. We see again, we're back to Joseph Ryan. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is it that is next to Mr. Ryan's left hip, partially under him?
It would have been a black slide and a shoe, slide on shoe, and a backpack.
All right. Did you search that backpack?
After we finished with Mr. Ryan's body and we were able to move him out of the way, yes.
I'm going to take you to Commonwealth's 124. Is this a zoomed in photo of that bag?
Just trying to show the property that was in it at the time, how it was when we found it.
Okay. So if that's how it was when you found it, did you put anything back into that bag? before taking this
Can't
photo?
we see what's
No,
in the
ma'am, that's
bag?
exactly how it was.
All right, in your review of the body worn camera, did you see anyone on body worn put anything back into that bag?
Not that I could observe, ma'am.
And Judge, I would now move to admit Commonwealth's 125 and publish to the witness, the jury, and the gallery.
All right, 125 in evidence.
Let's see, let's see. Is this
And
the backpack?
Judge, I'm going to
The
go ahead and
backpack.
ask to admit from 125 through 151.
Okay. 125 through 151, and there's no objection, correct? Okay,
Should be 151.
no objection. Okay, so then we have 125 through 151 in evidence.
All right. So looking at Commonwealth's 125, is this the backpack after you removed the items from it?
Yes, ma'am.
What observations did you make about the backpack?
Once we opened up the backpack, this would be the photo showing the back of the pack on the it's the back inside compartment of the backpack, and there was blood spatter on there.
Okay, so if I open the bag with my two hands and spread it wide apart, this is looking inside the bag,
Yes,
is that
ma'am.
correct? Okay, and what are those marks?
That's the blood spatter, ma'am.
All right. You placed circles in this photo. Did you make those circles?
So the
That's not
bag was
stitching.
open.
I'm sorry, the
when
red
all this
lines.
was happening.
Oh, the red lines, the circles, yes, ma'am. I did that for again, this was something I sent out to the state lab. And so I wanted to know what I was referencing when I asked for the exam.
Okay. Did you send that to the lab as item 125? Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's talk about the contents of the bag, Commonwealth's 126.
What did he
What
bring
did you
with
find
him?
inside?
We took the backpack and we laid out everything and did one overall photo as we inventoried through. And what you see is there's like rubber exercise bands, a metal rod with eyelets in it, a lubricant, clothespins, a chain.
We have chains, some exercise bands. Okay, let's go. Some lubricant. Clothespins. A metal rod with eyelet. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Chain with padlocks with the keys in them, a roll of electrical tape, like a COVID mask, an apricot, and then one I referred to
An apricot. That doesn't look like an apricot to me. That looks more like a peach, but whatever.
like almost like a gag.
Okay. Commonwealth's 127, is this?
Wait.
Okay.
So is this saying that this is like a gag? Huh. Okay. And we got a Walmart receipt.
Commonwealth's 127, is this the receipt that was found in the bag?
No, ma'am.
I'm sorry. Commonwealth's 127, a receipt that was found in the wallet?
That was found in Joe Ryan's wallet.
Yes, okay. And we can
Okay.
see the wallet underneath the receipt, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that wallet listing out personal lubricant, floss sticks, and apricot?
Yes,
Is that
ma'am.
correct? One apricot? All right, and that receipt is dated
Apparently it
the
was
same
an
day
apricot.
of
It
your
was the same date,
investigation.
yes, ma'am, the 24th.
February 24th, 2023. Okay. Did you find, obviously, this wallet, but anything else outside of the backpack that might have been personal belongings of Mr. Ryan's?
Well, I found his coat. His coat was actually underneath his legs near his buttocks area. We took his coat, we found his car keys in the front right pocket, and his wallet was in the front left pocket.
Okay. You also found zip ties, is that correct?
There was zip ties found on the floor, yes.
Okay. Directing your attention to Commonwealth's 128. Okay, this is an interesting photo. Tell us about it. What do we have here?
This is a sheet that's been suspended and it's being fluoresced with a laser.
Why do you fluoresce a sheet with a laser?
We're looking for body fluids.
And did you find them?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did the sheet come from?
This is the fitted sheet from the Au Pair's bedroom.
From the Au Pair's bedroom. This is Juliana's bed sheet, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you mark this item with the body fluids, with the location of the body fluids that you found?
Yes, ma'am. I was going for a lab submission, so I marked those stains that I found for the lab personnel.
All right, and looking at Commonwealth 129, is this a photograph of the markings that you made on the sheet to identify the
Yes,
body
ma'am.
fluid? Okay. Was that sent to the lab as item 65?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Why do you have Juliana's bed sheet? If the crime occurred in the master bedroom, okay. I mean, listen, dot all the I's, cross all the T's. I got it. But I want to know the logic on this. So maybe they'll give it. Maybe I should just be quiet and they'll give it. Let's see.
Turning your attention to Commonwealth 130. What have you photographed here?
This was Brendan Banfield's clothing.
Okay. And what were the articles of clothing that were
Oh.
collected?
It was a
Okay.
set of- it's blue.
Okay, so this is what Brendan was wearing. Brendan Banfield's clothes. Okay. This is getting pretty interesting.
Jeans, button-down shirt, and a black coat.
And you've put them on a dummy here in approximation to how Mr. Banfield was dressed on the day of the murder. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. I used body-worn camera.
Perfect. Okay. What did you do with these items once you had taken this photo?
Somebody, the coat and the jeans all both went to the state lab.
Did you mark the jacket for the areas that you wish to have tested?
No, ma'am. This is once it came back from the lab.
Aha. All right. So how did you present this item to the lab?
I presented this one. This one was because of the color. It's hard to see the blood and everything on it. I submitted it to the lab. I said, gave them a synopsis of what happened. And I just gave them the whole as a whole. And this is what they marked up.
All right. So those markings that we see were the selections that the lab made for their testing. Is that correct?
That would be my understanding, ma'am.
Okay. And this was sent to the lab as item 121. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Commonwealth's 132, we see specifically 2 circles. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And do we know what the lab tested for there?
They were testing for blood.
Item 133, what is this a photograph of?
It's going to be on Mr. Banfield's blue jeans.
Okay, tell me about the white L's that we see taped to the jeans. What are those?
It was requested by me, requested for me to take and do. It's called road mapping of the stains. And all you simply do is you take the item and you put down the scales and so many distances apart. There was no set distance, but you just want to make sure you got plenty of scales. Doesn't necessarily mean there's a stain there. We're just trying to document to scale the entire object.
Okay, so the reference points, is that fair?
That'd be a way of referring to them, yes, ma'am.
Okay. What did you observe about these pants?
That they had blood stains on them.
All right, any particular staining patterns that you observed?
There was the blood stains on the knee area. And then there was a particular stain that, someone pointed out and they requested for me to submit that to the lab.
All right, so we're going to look at Commonwealth 134. This now has a circle imposed on the photo. Tell me what that circle is indicating.
Again, this is something that's going to the lab. We discussed it. It's obvious with the pants, there's lots of staining. This was a particular stain that the graphs requested to be processed.
Okay, and zoomed in here, tell me about that stain. Was it different than the staining on the knees?
Most of the stains that you saw in the pants were like almost like smears, smudges, like they came in contact with blood. This was droplets.
All right, were there more droplets on the pants?
Yes,
But this was the area that was selected for testing?
yes, ma'am.
And again, that was Commonwealth 135 that we're looking at for those markings. Taking a look at Commonwealth 136, tell me about this red circle.
This is on the back of the jeans. It'd be to the left of center, just below the belt line or close to being in the belt line.
And was that item sent along with the other request for testing by the lab?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that one went to the lab as 136. I'm sorry, as all, these were all sent to the lab as 123. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, photo 136, also item 123. Sorry for any confusion. All right, and looking at Commonwealth 137, what do we have here?
It's that same stain with the drop, just a different angle on it. You're showing it more from the inside of the leg outward.
All right, did you have the opportunity to take a look at Mr. Banfield's shoes?
Yes, ma'am.
Almost 138, are these the shoes that were collected from Mr. Banfield?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you make any observations about what was on those shoes?
There was staining on the shoes, on the tops, but there's also staining on the bottom and into the treads.
Commonwealth's 139, what do we have here?
This would be Juliana's left shoe and sock.
Okay, and we're gonna look. Is this the right shoe and sock?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you observe blood on the shoes and socks?
There was blood on the shoes. On the shoes, it was primarily around the soles, around the edges of the soles and underneath the shoe. On the socks, there was red staining.
Okay. You sent the socks to the lab as 117 and the shoes is 118, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and the staining on the socks, where on the sock was it? Was it on the top of the sock? Was it on the bottom of the sock?
It was in the toe region, the toe area. And I wouldn't say it's necessarily on the top or on the bottom because it's like it looked like it leached a little bit or some.
All right, and here we have the bottom of the left shoe, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about your observations on the shoe with regards to the location of the blood.
The blood was towards the toe area. Mine was towards the toes. You can also see that the blood went up inside the tread.
That was 141. correct?
I'm sorry, yes, Your Honor, that was Commonwealth's 141. Now looking at Commonwealth's 142, what were your observations regarding the blood on this shoe?
The shoe, the blood was only really near the bottom edges. It's on the rubber sole part. Wasn't up onto the leathers.
All right, did the socks create a bit of a puzzle for you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and what did you do to try to answer questions you had about the blood on the socks?
She had blood on her socks and I couldn't figure out how they got there. So I took her shoes because as you can see from the photo, there's holes, air holes for the sneakers. I didn't know if by chance blood might have went down into those holes. So what I ended up doing was I took the shoe, I cut around sole in the leather part of the shoe so I could lift up and see inside the shoe.
What did you discover upon taking apart the shoes?
There was no staining.
All right, did you send anything else off to the lab? I'm going to show you Commonwealth's 143. What is this?
That's the insert from the left shoe.
Okay, why did you send that to the lab?
That dark area that's circled, and this is the photo that I gave to the lab, and knew what I was talking about, that tested positive for blood.
Okay, and so that was sent to the lab as item 118. It didn't have a separate designation from shoes 118. It went back to the lab as 118. Is
Yes,
that
ma'am.
correct? Okay.
I don't know when they're processing this. I don't know how long afterwards they're processing this, etc. Remember, she was charged in October. This happened in February. She wasn't arrested until October. So as they're processing this, they're like, okay, she's got blood on her socks. How does that happen? And like underneath remember, but we already know Juliana told us that she took her shoes off by the behest of him, but she's got blood on the inside of her in the sole of her shoes. So how does that happen? So I guess in the context clues of the police trying to investigate based upon their stories, how does she have blood inside her shoe if she's wearing shoes? So that's a good find. That's good police detective work.
Did Juliana's sweatshirt, t-shirt, or pants have any blood on them?
Not that I could find, ma'am.
Oh,
All right, let's look at Joseph.
what? So none of Juliana's clothes had blood on them. Well, we know she was walking around because that's what she said. She walked around. We know that she took off her shoes and changed her socks because that was what he said, which was really weird. Did she change her clothes too? I'm not sure if that was answered. Okay. Because, right, no, because she said that she was on the ground with them, kneeling next to them and had the towels and stuff. So she would have gotten blood on her clothes. Okay.
Ryan's clothing. Commonwealth's
I'll back that up.
140 is 118.
Yes,
is that
ma'am.
correct? Okay.
Okay.
Did Juliana's sweatshirt, t-shirt, or pants have any blood on them?
Not that I could find, ma'am.
All right, let's look at Joseph Ryan's clothing. Commonwealth's 149. This t-shirt.
Backstreet
what,
Boys.
if anything,
Aw.
did you observe about the shirt?
It had the blood staining. A lot of it was near the chest area. You can see it's not like any individual stain. Also, if you come down, as you look at the photo, it'll be on the right-hand side. It's right above the G and the H and how he's
Yeah.
named there. There's a defect.
I've zoomed in and I'm aiming my cursor where you're talking. Is that what you observed?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you able to determine how that defect occurred?
It appeared it was coming from a projectile, from a bullet.
Commonwealth's 150. What do we have here?
This is Joe's pants.
Okay. What did you do with regard to Joe's pants after photographing?
After photographing, we met with the state lab and we discussed different options for processing. On this one, because of the way the pants were situated on his body, I had questions about the zipper button area. The lab recommended an MVAC, but they don't have one. So this item was sent to DNA Labs International to be processed.
All right. And so that was regarding the zipper, the button, and the waistband. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Were the jeans sent to any other labs for other testing?
Yes. The right leg was sent to the whole pants was sent to Bodie Laboratories, but we requested the stain on the right pant leg to have a technique done that the state lab doesn't do.
Okay.
And so we sent it to them to have them process it in an attempt to see if we can generate any more evidence out of it.
All right. So Bodie tested the stains on the pant leg and DLI tested the zipper, the button, and the waistband. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you have any other questions about these jeans that could have been answered by the state lab? Or did you feel it was necessary to send them to the other two labs for the specific testing that you've discussed?
This was a specific testing because those stains, we're just trying to figure out what caused them, what and who's, what formed them.
Okay. All right. Judge, I'm not sure what time the court wanted to take the morning break.
It's a little early still.
It is. My next bit is a little bit lengthy and we can break after that, but it will be approximately 30 minutes. I have video to share with the detective.
The video is your next
Yes.
item. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take our morning recess then, and we'll just have to make it through to lunch.
Okay, we're going to zoom because we have the zoom room. But it was really interesting to hear him say that he looked at these pants. He's not sure about these stains. We're going to go in the zipper and the button. I'm not sure exactly what his logic is, where that's headed. Obviously, we're going to get the answers when the lab tech people come and tell us what they found. But I mean, I like his process. I like the way this detective is thinking. Maybe he's not. Yes, it's a detective. I like the way he's thinking, and he's trying to process everything, which is the proper procedure for a police person. You know, now sometimes they didn't. So, like in Brian Walsh's case, they didn't test everything. Again, maybe they felt like, you know, we don't have to test everything because we kind of get a conclusory idea of what's going on. So I just often wonder why police decide to do one thing versus do another. But so far, woo, super thorough. But I appreciate them trying to figure out what happened. So, all right, they are going to take a break. We are going to zoom. We have a video. I probably doubt that we're going to be able to see this video. Oh, we do. All right. Here we go.
153, Commonwealth's 153. All right, this is the vantage point from the McDonald's drive-thru. Is that your understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and this car creeping in here, that's Mr. Banfield's car. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the timestamp on this video, to your understanding, is that the correct time, 7:18 a.m. on December 24th, 2023?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and we just saw his car leave the drive-thru. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Wait, hang on. What did
Okay, and we just saw his car leave time, 7:18 a.m. on December 24th, 2023?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and we just saw his car leave the
24th.
drive-thru. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
what is this December 24th, 2023? What's the significance of that date? Because this happened in February.
All right, and that's his car returning to the drive-thru. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm confused. Okay, we're gonna zoom past this because.
Okay, we've changed camera angles and we now see Mr. Banfield's car here pulling up to the ordering area. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
He's ordering
Window, is that correct?
food.
Yes, ma'am.
Now he's paying. What's the significance of December 24th, 2023? Is this to like show his jacket?
And we've changed angles now to the receiving window and exit area. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay. So from this vantage, if you look in the top left, we see his car pulling out straight from the McDonald's drive-thru.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'm going to take you back for just 1 second to our map. And I'm putting my cursor here over the drive-through pickup area. Is that your understanding of its location?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so we saw his vehicle exit in the direction of my cursor. Is that right? Just pulling straight out?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now Commonwealth's 1:53. Our timestamp has moved on to 7:29, so it's been approximately 8 minutes. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And we see him,
154.
I'm sorry, 1:54, and we see him pulling into a parking spot.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's Mr. Banfield getting out of his car.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we've changed angles and we see him going into, do you understand that to be the bathroom of the McDonald's?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that's at about 7:29 and 30 seconds-ish.
Oh, she said the wrong date. If you look up at the top here, it is February. She said the wrong date. Okay, see, I'm on it. It's the wrong date. It's February. She said December. Okay. Okay. This is the morning of it happening. Okay.
And so I'm gonna
Ooh.
try to move this on a little bit. Somebody else is gone. Banfield. Going.
Okay. So he exits.
And our camera angle shifts and we follow him still on his phone out to his car. And is it 7:37 and approximately 30 seconds that he's getting in his car still on the phone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
He's backing out
Oh, he's going the wrong way.
and we see his vehicle leave the area. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And again, this angle from the window, you see him drive off, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then this angle, we see him head out onto the road, presumably towards home. And that's his black Hyundai turning left in the left side of this video.
Yes.
Is that correct? All right. Judge, if we can terminate the display for the moment. All right. Did you have the opportunity, as the guy who keeps all of the evidence, to take possession of Brendan and Juliana's cell phones?
Yes, ma'am. Later on in the investigation.
Okay. And you have those here today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to ask that these items be marked as Commonwealth's 232 for identification purposes, Brendan Banfield's cell phone, and item 233, again for identification purposes, as Juliana Perez Magalais's cell phone. And if I can have those handed to the detective, please.
Got to preserve the record. Got to put it into the record.
Already open. I have a charger. Thank you, ma'am. Easy.
Those bailiffs do an amazing job bringing evidence in. Oh my goodness. Ah, that's such an assault on my ears. Oh my gosh, she's got it right by the microphone.
And Your
Ah!
Honor, I will note, I am going to ask him to turn them on so that we can look at the screens. We do not have a way to ensure that they do not make noise in the courtroom if someone were to try to
I
call one
understand.
of the numbers.
I understand.
Quick, call the numbers.
All right, so let's start with the Android, Mr. Banfield's phone.
Still charging, still powering up, ma'am.
I'm sorry.
It's still
All right,
powering up.
Okay, thank you.
Why? Mm,
Okay, ma'am, it's up.
okay.
It's
All
working.
right, so if we take a look at 232, Your Honor, I'd like to put it on the projector if I may, please.
Sure, yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Huh. What are they doing?
Are you still want it to the witness or are you going to admit it into evidence?
I am not going to admit the phone into evidence. Judge, I'd like to have the jury be given the opportunity to look at it, and then I have still photographs taken of each of the screens that I will offer into evidence as 232 A, B, C, D, E, and F.
If it's not in evidence, the jury can't look at it.
I was under the impression that the court would not want the object with its password given to the jury to be able to manipulate for themselves, and so we have photographs of the screens. I can
I mean, you
simply
can enter
show those
evidence.
photographs if there is no objection to moving directly to those items.
Is there any objection to just moving to the photographs?
I've seen those, I don't.
Okay, no objection.
Makes
Okay,
it
let's
easy.
just do that.
Thank
then.
you. Thank you, Mr. Carroll.
Right. Okay, that's quite clunky. I was like, why do you have to have the phones powered up
So
and then
we are not going to.
jury to
display it.
have
We
the
are simply going to
phones?
move to the photographs.
We're going to the photographs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry
Dr.
for the
Johnson.
confusion.
That's okay.
The other thing too is, okay. Trying to think about this. Yeah, the jury doesn't need the phones. Like, I mean, you could see the phones, like you could photograph the phones. They don't need the phones. But I was thinking about like they manipulate them, but if they're dead, right? Like he had to charge it up if they're dead. How are they going to do anything with them? Okay, sorry, I just have weird thoughts in my head. Had to share them with you.
Thank you, ma'am.
If I may have the court's indulgence to pull up the
Yes, that's
pictures.
fine.
Right. So Judge, at this time, the Commonwealth would move to admit Commonwealth 232A, a photograph of Brendan Banfield's phone screen call log.
No objection? No objection to our 232A.
All right, and if I can have that displayed to the witness,
Yes.
the jury, and the gallery.
It's a
All right, Detective Leach, when you turned
phone.
on the phone and worked your way over to the call log, is this what you saw?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and we can note
Let's see.
that it has a record of calls from, at the top, you see February 24th, and then timestamps for each of the received or outgoing
Oh,
calls. Is
okay.
that correct?
Okay,
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
nice.
And
Oh,
we
this
see
pause.
an incoming call.
Okay. Oh, Thomas. This. Oh, okay. Okay. We're going bottom up. So Christine called on 8:59. The au pair called at 7:37 a.m. Then there's the Christine Banfield calls. Juliana calls. Christine Banfield calls. Then Rupa's mom. Amanda Au Pair calls. Thomas Allen. So this must have been after the events happened and they're like, what the hell? I wonder if Rupa's mom might be a neighbor. Okay.
From Juliana at 7:37 a.m.
Yes.
We see an outgoing call twice to Christine Banfield at 7:38 a.m. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then within the same minute, another outgoing call to Juliana
Yes,
And then again at 7:42, 2 more outgoing calls to Christine Banfield, correct?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then after that, it looks like just missed calls
Yes,
during times that we know Mr. Banfield to be interacting with law enforcement. Is that correct?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Judge, if we can terminate, I'll then move to 232B.
Amanda Au Pair is
Although
calling.
somehow picture is marked A. This is B, despite its title. All right. If we can then offer into evidence Commonwealth's 233.
Wonder if he had an affair with
233A.
Amanda.
So not 232B.
Nope, it is 233A.
Okay.
Asking for a
233A.
friend.
232 being Mr. Banfield's phone, 233 being Juliana Perez-Magalice's phone.
But 233A.
233A. All right, and if everyone can take a look at this. All right, Detective Leach, is this the call log that shows up when you turn on Juliana's phone?
Yes, it is, ma'am.
Okay, and we can see a handful of calls that occurred on the 24th. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Let's see.
Commonwealth would next offer 233B into evidence.
Any objection to 233B? All right, 233B in
Okay,
evidence.
so here's 233B. We have an outgoing call at 7:36 a.m. that
Let's
lasted
see
for 5
it.
seconds. Is that correct?
Yes,
Come
ma'am.
To
on.
a contact identified as Christine.
Yes,
Okay. Then 233C would be offered into evidence?
You already had 233B is in evidence.
C, I'm sorry,
C,
233C.
C, okay.
Any objection? Mr. Carroll? I'm going to move, I'm sorry? No, I'm about to. Yeah. Are we still casting?
No.
Okay.
Any objection to 233C?
This
Just
is,
gonna take a quick look
Okay,
at
sure.
it, Judge.
Yep.
That's it.
Mhm.
Okay, no objection.
All right, 233C.
all right, and if that can be displayed.
Okay, I guess they're trying to put it into evidence.
All right, and
Okay.
this is a
Sorry.
call record indicating calls at 7:37 a.m. for 19 seconds and 7:38 a.m. for 47 seconds as an incoming to a contact identified as Brendan. Is that correct?
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Guess we're not
Judge,
going
the
to see it.
Commonwealth will now move to 233D
233D.
and offer that into evidence.
Any objection?
Quick, look. I don't see anything.
Okay, no objection.
And if that could be shared. Detective Leach, this is an outgoing call from Juliana's phone to 911 at 7:47 that lasted 7 seconds. Is that correct?
Yes, it is, ma'am.
Oh, thank you.
And Commonwealth's 233E.
Any objection to 233E?
No, Your Honor.
All right, E in evidence.
Okay. This phone call shows a missed call from a 703-877-3038. Do you know that to be the 911 direct number or the exchange?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is a call from 911 back to Juliana's call that was missed according to the phone. Is that correct?
Going to the phone line,
According
yes,
to the
ma'am.
phone. Okay. I'll now move to Commonwealth's 233F.
Any objection to F?
No, Your Honor.
All right, 233F in evidence.
And I'd ask that be published. This is our last one, I promise. This is a log of calls to 911. We have a canceled call at 7:48, a canceled call at 7:49, and then an 8-minute outgoing call from Juliana's phone at 8:02 a.m. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh, okay.
All right.
All right, so remember the defense attorney was trying to get her to say these things. So I don't understand why he just didn't show her the call log and say, well, look, your phone says this, your phone says that, and impeach her that way. Why didn't he do that? I don't understand. Okay. Okay.
Your Honor, I do not believe I have any additional questions for this witness.
Can I
Clarify exhibits?
I have a question. Well, 144 through 148, you asked to be admitted in evidence, which we admitted in evidence, but I don't have any, you didn't display any 144 through 148.
If I can have the court's indulgence for just one moment.
Sure.
Judge, I would withdraw the request for 144 through 148.
All right, so withdrawn 144 through 148. Okay, now we're fine. Okay, thank you.
Miss
Thank you.
Penny,
Cross-examination.
keeper of records. Good job, Miss Penny. Keep that record straight.
Yeah, just let me know.
Good morning, Detective Leach.
Come on, sir.
Oh, we're on cross. Okay.
I just have a few questions for you. And I think I'm just going to kind of go backwards from where we ended up with regard to the pictures, if that's all right.
Yes, sir.
You raised, you actually decided, I believe, that DNA Labs International was going to be included in the examination of the zipper area and the pants area. And I think you had said something about it. They had tools that the DFS doesn't have.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. And so were you the one who made the decision that DLI was where this was going to go?
I met with the state lab. I was out at their facility, spoke with them, showed them what we had, and they actually recommended using the MVAC for that process.
Okay. And the MVAC is designed to pick up finer particles. Is that right?
The MVAC is like a wet vac you use in your house. So it uses moisture in a vacuum. So it injects the moisture and sucks that moisture back up.
Okay.
And it's used for DNA collection.
And that's something that Fairfax County Police nor DFS has the ability to do.
Not at that time, we did not know.
Is that so that's the only reason why DLI would be brought in?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then were their samples then, if you know, were they then analyzed by them or were they analyzed by DFS?
I would not know that, sir. That's for the examiners, the lab people, sir.
Okay. So in conjunction with DFS, you decided that this was a resource that we needed to kind of find the opportunity for and get them to do what the MVAC.
Yeah, we wanted an area process, and with the recommendation of the lab, we went through DLI.
Now, I didn't quite catch I guess you had suspicions because in the zipper region, it appeared that the pants were being opened the way they were left when you found them.
When we arrived on scene, as you saw through the photos, his pants were undone, the zipper was down, and the pants were pulled down slightly. And we were trying to determine why that was. And
that was pulled down on the backside. So
on the backside of the pants, if you're facing a person, it angled from the front down towards the back. And the back pants, the top of the jeans were underneath his buttocks.
Okay. And that caused significant enough concern that you had to go to that area?
It was an answer. I was trying to answer that question is why the pants were like that, and if they were, who did it?
Okay.
Right. Pulled his pants down. Who manipulated? Right. Who manipulated his pants? Right. So let's just say we'll play devil's advocate both way. Right. If let's just say that Christine planned this and she planned this to happen. Right. Then her DNA would be on the pants if she was the one undoing it, right? Then Joe Ryan, if it wasn't planned and he was pulling his pants down to do his sneaky thing, then he pulled his pants down. Or is it in the course of resuscitating his life that maybe one of the firefighters or police officers pulled the pants down? They have body-worn camera. They would let you know. So probably that doesn't seem to be the case. Maybe the firefighters don't. Or could it have been Brendan or Juliana? Did either one of them manipulate that? And is their DNA on that? So that will answer the question. How did Joe Ryan's pants get taken down? I like this guy. And we'll find out now, won't we? Or we won't. Well, it depends on what the lab finds.
Answer that question
though.
Why the pants were like that, and if they were, who did it?
Okay. Now,
like that.
Item number 135. So just so it's clear for the jury, the pictures number is 135, but you were also talking about 123 when we were in the middle of that. That's actually the number for the sample that went to the Division of Forensic Science, correct?
Which item was 135?
It said, it was the one that you said the graphs told you to go and get.
The graphs.
Graphs.
Yes.
And so that would have been relating to the genes of Joe Ryan, I believe.
There's the
Do you
genes.
mind- Sorry?
I think 135 I have is the genes of the defendant. But
Oh, I'm sorry, genes of Brendan Banfield.
If Your Honor wishes, I can.
do you want to see the picture?
Yes, I think
Okay.
that the witness probably would.
Okay, that's fine.
Please.
This is the picture 135 that you were discussing,
Yes, sir, that was a stain on Mr. Banfield's pants.
and those circled stains, you're saying the back of the pants?
That's on the front leg, front right
Okay,
leg.
front right leg, yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Right, the
And
droplet.
so, had these pants already been sent to the Department of Forensic Science prior to this submission?
No, sir.
Okay, so these were left until such time as the graph said, we need to know what that is.
Yes.
Okay, and so they went ahead and you sent that to the Division of Forensic Science and then it was analyzed.
Yes, they requested me to take and submit it to the state lab. I contacted the state lab, explained the situation to them, and they were willing to accept them.
Okay, and are you the one who decides as a general rule what's getting tested, or is it the lab that decides what's going to get tested?
It will be the lab, sir.
Okay, and in this situation, had you made, prior to getting the guidance from the graphs, had you made the decision that this was not something that you wanted to get tested?
It's not that I didn't want to get it tested, sir. As we progressed through the investigation, new evidence, new questions come about, and we try to answer those. And so when we got to the pants, this question came up,
Okay.
and I said, I thought it was a good suggestion, and we submitted it.
And so what time, in the timeline of getting to today, when was that sent on to the lab? Do you know?
That was, I'd have to refer to my notes to give you an exact date on that one,
Do you
sir.
have access to those?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, that's fine with me.
We want to know. We like timelines. We like receipts.
Going to the request for laboratory examination, I submitted them to the state lab on 5/15/2024.
5/15/2024. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And were there any detectives involved in the decision in that situation, other than yourself?
My supervisors were aware, the homicide detectives were,
Okay.
and it was a discussion.
Who was your lead in the homicide section at that point?
Lead
No.
homicide detective,
Yeah, who were you keeping informed?
at that time would have been Detective Goodell.
Detective Goodell?
Yes.
Okay. Had Detective Bryant already left at that point?
Yes, Detective Bryan and Detective Goodell were basically team working it.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Now,
Okay,
I
well,
had a
that's
couple of
very,
other questions.
okay, that's very important. It's very important because remember, the defense in their claim said that the police were fighting over the evidence and specifically towards the digital evidence, I think, on her laptop, and they couldn't determine who did what. And so some people were transferred, some people left. So I'm writing down names so that we know who's who. So Detective Ryan left.
questions?
Detective Goodall and Detective Ryan.
So just to kind of go a little further into it, the state, when you bring a pile of evidence there, the state lab's going to determine what they're willing to test, correct?
We don't bring the evidence to them initially, no, sir.
So you have a discussion with them and say, this is the evidence we have. We're thinking about bringing it to you.
Yes.
And then the discussion occurs.
We go, like on this particular case, we went out there, met with them, myself, homicide detective. We discuss what we have, we show them what we have. We seek any suggestions or thoughts from them. We tell them what we would like to submit, and then they will go through that, and then they'll let us know what they will accept.
Okay, so they're the final authority.
Yes, sir.
And so if something hasn't been tested that you might have wanted, they explain to you why that wasn't going to happen and it didn't get tested.
They have their reasons, sir.
Okay.
I can't speak for them.
And so if someone who wasn't privy to that conversation, the only way we can know that they've asserted their authority is that something wasn't tested.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I just have a couple of questions regarding some of the other things that you've testified to. Bear with me. Now, did you take into account the injuries of the people as you found out in the investigation as to some of these stains that you observed?
Could you clarify that question, sir?
Did you take into account the injuries of the two people who were injured and were contributors to blood stains and blood spatter and things like that?
On this case, yes, sir. Because we had two people with wounds and injuries.
Okay.
And that was Christine Banfield and Joe Ryan.
Now, when you look at the initial body camera, I think it might have been Officer Baumler's. Did you look at that?
I looked at several body worn cameras, sir.
So the first one it's the first one into the room.
The very first officer?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I think that along with what we've heard of the 911, you've heard that too, correct?
I didn't listen to the tape, sir.
Okay. Christine Banfield was on her side and was asked to do that by the 911 operator before first responders came. Would that account for the larger and deeper blood stains that you've described that were near the bed area where you say it was her?
Well, she was found on a body worn camera away from the bed on her left side facing the bathroom with her head closest to that tall dresser.
Right, and did you know that she was rolled over?
Once I saw the body worn camera.
Okay. Now,
Didn't answer your question,
the
though.
carpet area.
you got it
near
out.
Christine's body that you've identified. It's a large stain that you've talked about.
Yes.
Was that tested for blood?
No, sir.
Okay. And that's what you were talking about, was soaked all the way through?
That was soaked only, the stain closest to the bed, sir.
Yeah.
Was the one that soaked all the way through the pad down to the subfloor, had the larger stain on the subfloor.
Okay.
The one where Christine was found, it did soak through, but not as much volume. And the stain that was on the wood of the subfloor was significantly smaller than the original stain on the top of the carpet.
Okay. And was the significant stain larger than the other stain? Was that tested?
No, sir.
Okay. And so just so I'm clear, so the stain, as you looked at the picture that you observed today, the larger stain that went through to the subfloor was the one next to the corner of the bed.
Yes.
Do you want to see that picture, Mr. Carroll?
Yes, Your Honor.
111, I
Let
believe.
me,
Let's pull up 111.
there we go.
Just share the picture on the screen if you want.
Yes. So I'm looking at the picture in the same direction you're looking.
Yes,
The
sir.
one that just so I'm correct, the one that you indicated had the larger stains that went all the way to the floorboard was the stain near the bedpost of the bed.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's the one that you testified was not tested.
To make it a little simpler in my notes, that stain that you're looking at, I designate as bloodstain 1. Bloodstain 2 is going to be the one closer to the dresser.
Yes.
Bloodstain 1 and bloodstain 2, neither were sent to the lab for processing.
Okay.
Why?
And so we're not sure who the contributor of that blood on bloodstain 1 and bloodstain 2 is.
No, sir.
We don't have any confirmation through DFS.
We don't have DNA forensic, but we have body worn camera showing her body position.
Okay. Now, do you know where Mr. Ryan, Joe Ryan, was located in the room when he was shot, based upon your
No, sir.
examination?
No, sir. I know where his body was at when it fell.
Okay. And that was the one near the dog bed, correct?
Yes, sir.
Is it possible if he was, Mr. Ryan was shot at the foot of the bed, which is where those stains are, that the blood would be in the same area?
If that's where he was shot, it could be, yes, sir.
Okay. But there's no way of knowing that.
No, sir.
Okay. If Joe's, Ryan's blood was on the carpet in the area that we've just talked about, and an object was placed on that carpet, could, depending on whose blood it is, could that blood transfer to any item that was put on that area?
Could you clarify? No, it didn't, sir. You could clarify, please.
So if an object was put in this area where we have the two blood stains, we
Yes,
don't have
sir.
to say who they are because we don't know. But if there was an object that was put there, could that, those blood stains with the magnitude of them, could that transfer to whatever object that is?
To what you're asking, sir, if I'm clear, is if an object is put down in one of those blood stains, it's picked up and then moved and put into another location, could it transfer those blood?
Yes.
Yes, that's possible, sir.
Do you have, in terms of I know you only have a limited kind of focus in this case, but do you have any idea whether my client is a right-handed shooter or a left-handed shooter?
When I documented his property that was brought to me from that was collected at the hospital, he had his holster on the right side and it was a right-hand drop holster.
And that would indicate he's a right-handed shooter, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when you saw when the original responders arrived, isn't it true that he was tending to Christine down on his knees, and you would have, the original first responders were coming to him from his right side, correct?
As they approached into the room, that would be correct, sir.
Okay.
Because he was on his knees facing the bathroom. So as they would approach Christine's feet, and as they would move upward, it'd be to his right.
Okay. And at that point in the, I should strike that. Brendan's gun had blood on it, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is there any way in your investigation to know where that blood came from?
No, sir.
it had been sitting in that large and deep blood stain that we just talked about, could that have transferred to the gun?
That's possible, yes, sir.
Okay. Was the blood on the gun tested?
No, sir.
Okay. Was that an issue that was of concern to Fairfax County Police, or was it up to the lab to not test it?
Objection calls for speculation, given that phrasing of the question.
I'll sustain it if you want to rephrase your question.
Okay.
Mr. Carroll.
Who made the decision as to testing that particular item for blood?
It came to the state lab, sir.
Okay. So it was submitted to the state lab. Was there a request from Fairfax County Police, or is it just after talking to the state lab, they said, we're not going to do that?
Excuse me, the gun was originally sent to the state lab for firearms. And part of the policies of some of us, as my understanding with the state lab is, once a weapon goes through firearms testing, they will not do the DNA testing on it.
And would that be because it was contaminated?
There's contamination issues, is my understanding.
Yeah, I've heard that before in other cases, that if so usually they test the blood and the fingerprints before they test the gun, because once they fire the gun, the heating of the gun will perhaps change the particle matter on the gun, and therefore it's not viable for testing. That's what I've learned from other cases. How or why they didn't do that, who knows?
Again, sir, that's my understanding. The lab personnel would be the best that's their field of expertise.
Okay.
Right.
And I appreciate that. And I appreciate your field of expertise. And so
the other thing too is that they can't process everything, right? I mean, you can process anything that you want, but it is at the expense of the state and the taxpayers to process everything. So you got to pick and choose, right? But I see where the defense is going. It's like, where did the blood come from? Whose blood is it, etc. Could it be an element of the crime? I don't know. I mean, it's sort of like admitted into evidence that Brendan shot Joe with his duty pistol or duty gun. I don't know. I don't know if it's significant or not.
Did this particular gun, before it was sent on to firearms, was it tested for hair or fibers or anything like that?
It was all done by visual, sir.
Okay.
I took the weapon, I documented and looked at it.
And did you see any hair or fibers
No, sir.
on the gun?
No, just the blood stain, sir.
Okay.
Why didn't
Now,
you test
did you
it?
encounter carpet fiber
I
in
mean,
the crime scene?
We encountered carpet fiber and dog hair.
Carpet fiber and dog hair?
Yes, sir.
And were they analyzed to say, oh, this is carbon fiber and this is dog hair, or just eyeballed it?
I'm using your term, I eyeballed it. I observed it, looked at it, documented it, and it was discussed with the lab.
Okay. And I'm not suggesting, I'm not trying to be
No,
quippy with eyeballing, just you observed it. And obviously there's a dog bed.
Is
there,
that a
so
technical term?
Probably not a bad conclusion, but we really don't know what's fiber and what's dog hair.
no, sir.
Now, the cell phones that we were just talking about, I think we saw the screenshots of them. So it would be Juliana's cell phone. Was there blood on Juliana's cell phone? Do you know?
I was not the original person who collected them, sir.
Okay. But it came to you guys.
The phones were, once they were collected by the detectives, went to computer forensics.
Okay. Gotcha. So you've never, other than just looking at what you saw today, you've never had the phone?
Just collecting the evidence. When I say collecting the evidence, once computer forensics and everybody was done with it, it came to me. And then I would take it and add it into my inventory and then take it to the property room. So that, I think what you're asking is, did I ever physically open it up and go through them? No, I did not.
Okay. So you wouldn't know if there's blood on there or not?
No, sir.
Okay. I don't have any further questions,
All
Judge.
right, redirect. All right, is this witness subject to recall? Yes.
All right, Mr. Leach, the keeper of
Subject
evidence.
to recall? Okay, so you're good to go. Thank you. Thank you, Captain. Your next witness?
Keeper of evidence.
Could you turn your microphone on because I didn't quite hear the name?
Commonwealth would call Matthew Niederreiter.
Thank you. Matthew Niederreiter.
We're gonna zoom because he's over there making noise.
Please, sir.
Oh, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Matthew something with an N. I'll get the spelling. Witness number 10 for the Commonwealth.
Thank you. Good morning, sir. How are you? Oh, afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Great.
Can you please state and spell your name for the court record?
Matthew Niederreiter, Niederriter.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Niederreiter. What is it that you do for a living?
I work at a window factory, and
Oh,
I
window dude.
sell windows and set up projects for people to do home improvements that has to do with windows and doors.
All right.
Window
I'm going to
dude.
offer into evidence at this point in time, Commonwealth's Exhibit 157.
Any objection to 157?
No, Your Honor.
All right, 157 in evidence.
And if I can have that displayed, please. Mr. Niederreiter, I'm going to ask you to take a look as I scroll through these documents. Do you recognize these materials?
Yes, this is all information from my company that I work at, the window factory.
All right, wonderful. And does it talk about a triple pane glass window option?
Yes.
Tell us about triple pane glass. What does it do?
I sell a lot of windows, and most people are happy with the double pane product. That's very good for energy and such. And you can get regular glass where you can add to it sort of an energy coating that would make double pane windows very good and meet Energy Star type levels. When someone goes to a triple pane, that's another level. And that is a type of level where they're trying to do more than just protect the house from the sun.
What else does a triple pane window offer?
Most of the customers that I deal with that are looking in that direction are,
I'm gonna ask you,
Oh, no.
just to answer the
No.
question, what does a triple pane window offer?
it would make the product 30% better in energy savings and noise level.
Okay, thank you. And I'm going to then ask the court to admit Commonwealth's Exhibit 158.
Any objection to 158?
No, Your Honor.
All right, 158 in evidence.
Mr. Niederreiter, again, I'll ask you to take a look at the documents on your screen.
Oh,
Do you
you're going
recognize
by
these
too fast.
documents?
Yeah, that is
Like-
an invoice from our factory.
Okay, and as we scroll down, we see a number of windows were ordered on this invoice. Is that correct?
Yes, a large amount of windows.
Okay, and was this for the Banfield home located at 13230 Stablebrook Way?
Yes.
Okay, and do you recall when those windows were installed?
I believe they were ordered in August and installed sometime in December.
All right, thank you very much. I have no further questions of this
All right,
witness.
cross-examination.
Do you want me to leave the documents up? There's some, but nothing. Do you want me to leave the documents up? There's some, but nothing.
Good afternoon, Mr. Niederreiter. My name is John Carroll. If I ask you any questions that you don't understand, please stop me and ask me to ask the question again. You
Yes,
understand? Okay. So you are a manufacturer of windows,
Yes, I work at a factory where we make our own products.
and what's your job?
I am in sales and project development.
Okay. And so in sales and project development, you're here testifying about this. I'm assuming you went out to the Banfield home?
Yes, I was there at least 3 times.
Okay. And this whole process started in early 22, correct?
Yes, approximately in end of January, early February of that year.
Okay. And so that would have been when you were first notified, or would that have been the factory was notified saying they're interested in looking at windows?
Yes, someone contacted the factory and said, I'd like a person to come out and give us a free quote.
And were you privy to that initial contact?
No, I was just told an address to go to.
So you don't know if it was Brendan Banfield or Christine Banfield?
I do not know that, yes.
Okay. And so the way it works with your factory is someone calls in and says, we're interested in windows.
Yes,
And then your job is to go out there and reduce, loss of heat by 30% or 50% or whatever it is that they want, correct?
yes, I frankly just asked them what is important to them, and then I just measure.
Okay, gotcha. And do you recall when you went out to the house?
Oh, yes,
And when was that?
late January of that year.
Okay,
So that's when the process starts,
Okay.
that's the first thing I do is go to the home.
gotcha. And then you go there and, not to presume this, but you would measure all the windows that are going to be replaced?
Yeah, I have to walk the entire landscape of the house, in and out, and do a lot of measuring and counting.
Okay, and you did that.
Yes,
And this was a full window replacement on the house, correct?
when you say full, do you mean all the windows,
Yes.
or do you mean, yes?
Okay. All the windows. And so how long would that take from the time that you first meet them to manufacture a full house worth of windows?
Well, there's several stages, meaning that I just start with a quote,
Gotcha.
and then it goes from there. If somebody actually orders, then from deposit to install, could be any time between 8 to 12 weeks.
Okay. Gotcha. So if I understand you correctly, you go out and do the initial measurements, you give them the quote, then it's in their court to contact you.
Yes, we may follow up with, do you have any questions? Are you still interested?
Gotcha. And do you remember who you spoke with in any of those follow-ups or anything like that before the August order?
Yes, I do.
Who was that?
Nobody really contacted me until July.
Okay. Who was
But-
it who contacted you?
Brendan, or the husband, I believe.
Okay. And did you meet him?
Oh, yes, of
Of
course.
course, this the person that you met?
Yes,
And you were aware that he was shopping it around with 7 other window places, correct?
yes, they usually tell me that, hey, you're just one of many bidders. You know?
Okay. And in this instance, you knew that to be the case, correct?
Well, sometimes people say that, and that is the case, but I always expect that.
You were told that, I guess I should say.
Yes.
Okay. And this was this in January when you first came out and measured? That you found that out?
There was more communication in July.
Did you find out about other potential competitors in January when you came out to measure?
No.
Were you, okay, that's fine. And so we're talking about triple pane glass, and you indicated there's a 30% energy reduction, and there's certainly a noise component to it, correct?
Yes,
Okay, so in January of 2022, he was talking to you about noise, correct?
no,
Okay, he told you you wanted triple pane, correct?
no.
Okay, so what was your quote that you based off of?
The initial quote was for the double pane energy glass window, a more of our standard
Okay,
style window.
and that was what you went out on January 2022 to sell him?
Yes, that's what I went out to quote, and I think they believe they got the quote like early February,
Okay, and that was the quote was for double pane,
double pane.
and it was increased to triple pane.
Yes,
Okay, and when you were talking about the quotes, was there any discussion of the pathway of Dulles Airport going over their house?
no,
Okay, was there any discussion of a house right next to their house, anything like that?
no, not to my
So there
knowledge.
was no discussion about noise at all?
There was a discussion of what would be the benefits in July of if somebody got a triple pane window and the cost associated with it.
Okay, but the specific noise, was there any discussion about that?
Not that I,
Some of these are really good questions. So it started in January, which is kind of when Juliana said the plan was to take place. They don't know who initially contacted them, whether it was Christine or Brendan. But also the fact that, was there a discussion about noise, the Dulles Airport, the fire? Now, mind you, the lawyer's testifying, but he got it in. So it's kind of interesting, kind of presumptuous. Let's continue.
recall.
Okay. I don't have any further questions.
All right, redirect. All right, is this witness subject to recall?
Okay, we're going to pause because we're going to go back and see if we can see how much this all cost. Oh, okay, let's go back here. See if we can figure out.
As we scroll down,
Okay,
we see a number of windows were ordered on this invoice. Is that correct?
Yes,
okay, because remember I asked how much was this? How much was this? So it looks like it was like $30,000.
a large amount of windows.
Okay, get all this, get out of the way. Yeah, it was like 30 grand. 30 grand, and they gave him a $7,000 deposit.
Okay. And was this for
Wow. 30 grand. Well, 33K for the windows. Okay. So I have a question. $33,000 is a lot cheaper than a divorce, right? I'm not saying crime. I'm just saying that it was a lot cheaper. And I wonder if like insurance or anything had to pay for that. But okay. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? Did you get away with it? We don't know yet. All right. Commonwealth 11.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ma'am. Could you please state your name and occupation for the court report?
Yes, Amy Shotwell. I work at Silver Eagle Group in Ashburn
All right. How long have you worked at Silver Eagle Group?
since 2012.
Okay, so taking you back to February 24th of 2023, in the 3 to 4 months preceding February, were you employed at Silver Eagle?
Oops,
Yes.
Okay,
sorry.
what do you do there?
Okay. I am a manager. I'm the responsible party on the business's federal firearms license and the custodian of records for that purpose.
All right, and so did you provide us with some records for this
Yes.
case? Okay, I'm going to ask I'm going to ask the court to please admit Commonwealth's 159 into evidence.
Any objection to 159? All right, 159 in evidence.
All right, Ms. Shotwell, if you'll take a look at these documents, I'm going to scroll through them. Do you recognize these documents?
Yes,
Okay, so let's start with number one. What do we have here? A firearms transaction record. What does this tell us?
this is a federal form that is completed when a prospective purchaser of a firearm wants to take possession of it from a dealer. So it's a transaction between a dealer and an individual to purchase a firearm.
Okay. And looking here at page number 7, is that a continuation of that transaction record?
That is the background check that is used in conjunction with the federal form.
Okay. All right, and here on page 11, what do we have? Is this a record from your company?
This is a record from our check-in software at our front desk for customers who come in to use the range.
Okay, and so.
Oh, this is a
whose
gun
record is
range.
this?
Brendan Banfield.
Okay, and these check-in dates, are those the number of times that he appeared at your range?
Presumably.
Okay, and what do people do at your range? What
Shoot-
type of range is it?
Firearms shooting?
Okay,
Okay.
and we can see that he was present on October 29th and then again December 23rd, both in 2022. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. What is this document here?
That is the receipt of payment for a firearm in conjunction with the federal form that you first showed me.
Okay, so this is a purchase for a Glock 43X pistol. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And that purchase was made on what date?
January 28th, 2023.
Thank you. All right, and we have another visit detail. Who is this one tracking the visits of?
Juliana Perez.
Okay, and she appeared on those same dates as Mr. Banfield, is that correct? October 29th and December 23rd of 2022?
It appears so.
All right. In your search of your business records, did you come across any record indicating that Christine Banfield had used the firing range?
I did not.
Or any record that
question.
Christine Banfield had accompanied her husband to use the firing range?
I did not find a record under that name.
Okay. Thank you. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Cross-examination?
Good afternoon, Ms. Shotwell.
Good afternoon.
My name is John Carroll. If I ask any questions you don't understand, just let me know, please.
Mr. Carroll, could you raise your microphone up a little bit? You're just a little taller than
Yes,
this
yes.
is. Thank you.
Who's Samuel Hummel?
He was an employee at Silver Eagle Group on the date that the firearms transaction occurred.
Okay, and he's because it says on the one of the forms that you were just looking at and you identified that he was the firearm transferor, correct?
He was the representative of the business. So the business information is on one of the pages above his name as well. But yes, he was the employee who assisted.
And he's no longer there?
Correct. He's in Texas.
Okay, so the actual details of the firearm transaction, if my client were to say why he got it, anything like that, that wouldn't show in those records.
Why your client purchased a
Yeah,
firearm? There's no
why, or any sort
reason.
of discussion that went along with that.
There's none of that information included in that paperwork.
Gotcha. And the entrance, and I guess there's no exit, there's just entrance records. That just shows from a computer printout that these are the days that these people went there, correct?
Yes.
And in order to find out if somebody else had gone with them on a certain date, we'd have to tell you what name and then try to line them up, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you were requested to get the records for Juliana Perez Magalhaes and my client, correct?
Yes.
And so that's why those actions connect up.
Yes.
Now, would you have any knowledge as to whether the new firearm that was purchased in the purchasing record was ever used by Brendan Banfield or Juliana Perez Magalhaes?
No, I would not have that
There would be
information.
no information to that?
Correct.
Okay. Would you have recognized my client?
No,
Okay, so you're just strictly the documents and these are the records and this is that. Okay,
correct.
well, I won't ask any questions you're not gonna have the answers for. So thank you, man.
You're welcome.
All right, redirect? All right.
All
She
right.
is not subject to recall. Thank you.
You're free to go. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Your next witness?
Witness number 12.
Judge, it's going to be, sorry,
Oh.
Douglas Gudekunst.
Okay.
Douglas somebody number.
Case under penalty of law.
He's got a briefcase with him. What is he pulling out? Or he's not pulling out anything.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Could you first please state and spell your first and last name for us?
My name is Douglas Gudekunst. That's Douglas. Gudekunst, Gudakkunst.
What a
And can you
name.
tell us how you are currently employed?
I'm a fingerprint specialist with the Fairfax County Police Department.
And are
Okay.
you assigned to any specific division within the police department?
Yes, our section is referred to as Novaris.
Is Novaris an acronym?
Yes, it stands for the Northern Virginia Regional Identification System.
And how long have you been a fingerprint examiner for Novaris?
It will be 8 years in February.
And has that entire period been within the employment of the Fairfax County Police Department at Novaris?
Yes,
And you examine more than fingerprints, correct?
also palm prints.
And what are the duties of a fingerprint examiner?
We are tasked with comparing fingerprints to known samples and known samples to known samples. So to sort of decide and make decisions whether or not the two fingerprints we're looking at originated from the same finger or palm.
And can you tell us about the training that you've received in the area of
I
fingerprint?
have an undergraduate in forensic science from Mercyhurst University and a graduate degree from George Mason University in the same, as well as a large number of industry-specific training courses.
And during your career, can you estimate the number of fingerprint examinations and identifications that you have engaged in?
It's not something that we track. It is easily in the hundreds of thousands.
Are you a member of any professional organizations?
I am a member of the International Association for Identification.
And have you testified previously in court?
Yes, I have
How many times?
7, I believe, maybe 8,
And any of those times in Fairfax County?
all of them.
Have you previously been qualified as an expert in any court in Virginia in the area of friction ridge examination and comparison, also known as fingerprint examination and comparison?
Yes, I have
How many times?
7 or 8.
And at this point, Judge, I'd move to admit Mr. Gudekunst as an expert in the area of friction ridge examination and comparison, which is also known as fingerprint identification.
That's not many. So does he not testify very often? Is that it? I do the analysis, I write the reports, but I don't testify very often. I don't know. But he's being He's being offered up as an expert, so
Examination.
who
All
knows?
right, any objection? You want to voir dire? All right, no objection, so moved. Thank you.
Oh,
Can you
and a
describe
voir
for
dire.
us what a
Oh,
latent print is?
A
Miss
latent
Benny.
print is a reproduction of the ridges found on the surfaces of our hands, and also our feet, but primarily our hands. When you touch an item, you leave that reproduction behind, but it's not readily visible. That's why it is latent. It needs to be processed in some way to be made readily visible.
And what does a fingerprint examiner do with a latent fingerprint?
In our office, we receive them already processed. We don't do the processing ourselves. So we receive latent fingerprint evidence from the police department. We assess them for quality. We can search them through different databases that we have access to of known fingerprints, and we can compare those fingerprints to the response list that we get, as well as compare them directly to requested subjects.
And are there any complexities in working with latent prints?
Yes, they can be very complex. They are not all automatically very good quality latent prints. When you touch something, it doesn't necessarily leave a latent print. It may. That latent print can be very small, very fragmented, very low quality, unable to visualize clearly, and different processing methods can also degrade those qualities and make them less helpful or useful.
And are there different levels of details to a fingerprint?
Yes, we classify the levels of detail that we look at in a tiered system 1, 2, and 3 in smaller and smaller granularity. Level 1 detail is an overall flow of the ridges, the pattern type. Level 2 detail is going to be independent ridge path, where we watch one particular ridge and we can see it doing a thing, either stopping or splitting. And then level 3 is going to be those even smaller than that. This ridge has a pore here, or is thick, or is thin, different characteristics on the very edge of the ridge. Those are level 3 detail.
And can you tell us what a known fingerprint is?
A known fingerprint is an intentionally recorded reproduction of the friction ridge skin on the hands, or sometimes the feet, that is taken intentionally and under controlled circumstances with traditionally ink. Modern days, most of them are done electronically, but still ink is occasionally used, where ink is applied to the hand, and then the hand is touched to the contrasting paper or the scanner with no ink. And then those are kept as a known sample of the friction ridge skin of that person.
And what do you do when you compare latent prints to known prints?
We have a process that we call ACE-V. So when we get a latent print, the first thing we do is assess or analyze that single print in isolation. Is it a fingerprint? Which way is towards the tip of the finger? What is the pattern type? How is it processed? How much detail do I see? And at that point, we usually make a decision. This is a value for comparison, or this is not a value of comparison, or maybe a limited value for comparison. Once we've assessed that print and analyzed it, we then do a side-by-side comparison. That is the C in the ACE-V, where we look for similarities and differences. We note how similar or how different the spatial relationship between this branch of a ridge is 3 ridges away from that branch of a ridge, and they're all working as a constellation together. After we've completed our comparison side by side, we weigh the information that we've discovered in that whole process. We evaluate it, E in ACE-V, and we make a decision. Those decisions are 3 types: either an identification, and that the 2 fingerprints did originate from the same source; an exclusion, where those 2 fingerprints did not originate from the same source; or an inconclusive, where we aren't able to make either of those determinations for many reasons. Then that process, those cases are given to another qualified fingerprint examiner who verifies it, the V, which is the same process that is ACE. So it's really ACE-ACE with 2 different people, so ACE-V.
And in this case, did you receive latent prints during the investigation?
Yes, I did.
How many of those latent prints were suitable for comparison?
what if he
In the
said
initial
no?
submission, there was
No,
multiple
goodbye.
versions of a single latent print that were suitable for comparison.
And in this case, did you obtain known prints?
Yes, I did.
How many sets of known prints did you obtain?
I obtained 4 sets of known prints.
And did you obtain prints from Joe Ryan and Christine Banfield?
Yes, I did.
And where and when did you obtain their prints?
I obtained them at the medical examiner's office on, I believe it was February the 28th.
And how did you obtain their prints?
I went to the medical examiner's office and I used ink and paper to collect the known prints.
And the known prints, did you obtain known prints from Brendan Banfield and Juliana Perez Mabuyahis?
Yes,
And where and when did you obtain their prints?
I obtained those at the Fairfax County Public Safety Headquarters on March the 2nd,
And how did you obtain their prints?
also with ink and paper.
Did you compare the latent print in this case to the known prints of Christine Banfield, Juliana Perez Magalhaes, Joseph Ryan, and Brendan Banfield?
Yes, I did.
And after comparing these items, did you draw any conclusions?
Yes, I did.
With regard to Christine Banfield and Juliana Perez Magalhaes, what did you conclude?
That the single latent print in this case that I looked at for this was not from either of those hands.
And with regard to Joseph Ryan and Brendan Banfield, what did you conclude?
It was inconclusive to a single finger from each of those people.
And the print that you were, the latent print that you were asked to compare to the known prints, where did that come from?
The item that I received is a CD with digital images on it. The digital images were titled knife and then number dash number. So this was, the one I used was knife 3-3.
Thank you. I don't have any further questions. Mr. Carroll is going to have some
All right,
questions.
cross-examination. Cross-examination.
So if I understand that correctly, the knife was inconclusive. So I'm just going to back that up just a little bit. I wish you would have said, you got a knife. Was it, you know, they did it backwards, which was weird because I was like, what are we comparing? Did I miss that? Did I black out? This is long.
Did you draw any conclusions?
Yes, I did.
With regard to Christine Banfield and Juliana Perez Magalhaes, what did you conclude?
That the single latent print in this case that I looked at for this was not from either of those hands.
And
Okay.
with regard to Joseph Ryan and Brendan Banfield, what did you conclude?
So Christine and Juliana, no knife. Okay.
It was inconclusive to a single finger from each of those people.
Okay. So it was inconclusive.
And the print that you were, the latent print that you were asked to compare to the known prints, where did that come from?
The item that I received is a CD with digital images on it. The digital images were titled knife and then number dash number. So this was, the one I used was knife 3-3.
Good afternoon, Mr. Goodkins.
Good afternoon.
right.
The known fingerprints that you received from my client was on March 2nd, 2024, correct?
I believe
I
so.
think that's what you just said.
Which, I don't remember if it was 24, 23. I'd have to check the card.
I'm sorry, 23.
That makes more sense.
Okay, and you were there, my client was there, and he basically gave you access to his hands, and you took it down on a print card, correct?
More or less.
So
That's correct.
the ink and the pad, and then you put it onto an actual print card or something that you work with?
Yes.
Okay, and so you had an opportunity to meet him at that time, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and was there any difficulty in getting that print from him?
No.
Okay, now, specific.
Wait a second. Are you saying, okay, well, there's two ways to look at that. Was there a search warrant that he had to come in and give that? Or did they asked him to come in and do that? You didn't clarify, Mr. Carl.
Specifically regarding the three, I guess, characterizations. I guess number one you said was a known match. What was
Oh,
the
for the conclusions you mean?
Yes, yes.
So we have three conclusions. One of them is called an identification, which is,
Identification,
and the other is an exclusion, and then an inconclusive, which is neither of those.
Okay, and you indicated there's numerous reasons for that, correct?
Yes.
Now, so is there other than the fact that your test was inconclusive, are there other, is there anything else to draw from that other than that particular determination is that it's inconclusive?
No.
No.
Okay, so there's no inference one way or another.
Correct.
Right. Now, you did
No.
fingerprint analysis on other items of investigatory material in this case, correct?
There were additional fingerprints that were submitted to me, yes.
Okay, and is it fair to say that if they seek a fingerprint match or the opportunity to see if it's been identified, they would do something to get the evidence to you in order to have the known print or the latent print?
I'm not following, I'm sorry.
So for example, if there was like a safe that they wanted to check fingerprints on, would you go to the crime scene lab and get something to see, something so that you could have a latent print? I'm just asking because you had said that you went to crime scene, or you went to where?
I went to the medical examiner's office.
Okay, the medical examiner. If there was pieces of evidence where you were asked to get fingerprints for, would you go to the crime scene to get, if in fact something was there at crime scene?
No, that would fall under someone else's responsibility.
Okay, so you wouldn't
Right.
you wouldn't be the one who.
Okay. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. So clicky. No, he doesn't collect the evidence. He just analyzes it. So the people who are the evidence collector, you heard Mr. Leach was on the thing. He was one of the evidence collectors. Now, he was probably more like physical evidence, but there's other crime scene investigators who do other things, right? There would be a crime scene investigator who comes in to collect or dust for fingerprints, right? Ooh. Okay, let's
Who
continue.
did that, just in terms of the medical examiner, you would go to them.
Correct, yeah, in this case, I went to collect the fingerprints from the
Okay.
decedents.
So it would be incumbent on the Fairfax County Police to find the latent, put the latent into a form in which you could work with, and then you would then analyze it to determine what it was you needed in order to identify it, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Was there ever anything
Okay.
done?
So I'm going to say something positive. I appreciate that he's going through this because some of the jurors may not know how is this process done. So it's nice to go through this process because she didn't explain it, how he gets the evidence. So that's good. So there's some good, there's some bad. I'm going to point out both.
Relating to any cell phones in this case?
I don't recall ever receiving any latents from a cell phone in this case.
Okay.
What did you
were asked
analyze?
to do any sort of fingerprint examination on any laptops in this case?
No.
Okay. What about a gun safe? Were you asked to do that by anyone in forensic science?
No, not in this case.
Okay. Now, were you asked to do an analysis of prints on a letter that was
Objection.
received?
What's the objection?
Judge, this goes beyond the scope of direct and assumes facts that are not in evidence.
Overruled, go ahead.
Were you
Right.
asked to examine a letter as part of an investigation that would have started in around June of 2025?
Yes, I was provided with some processed letters that did exhibit friction ridge marks.
Okay, and so there were marks on there, correct?
Yes.
And were you able to identify any of those marks, or were you waiting for further from the Fairfax County Police?
I was waiting for additional known exemplars from the people that are known to have touched the letter before I continued the examination.
Okay, and did you ever receive those things?
I did not.
Okay, and so is that investigatory request just not done?
I made it known that I needed the exemplars to continue several times. I was never
Okay.
scheduled to go and get them.
Now, you and I talked or had an opportunity to have a phone meeting sometime in November, I believe. Is that correct?
I don't remember if it was November, but I remember talking.
Okay, and that was a follow-up for one that we were supposed to have in October that I was in a trial and I couldn't.
That sounds correct, yes.
Okay. When was the last time you heard from the detective from the Fairfax County Police regarding this particular item that needed to be examined prior to our meetings?
I reached out a couple of times. It was prior to meetings. I don't recall the last one. I did speak with him afterwards as well.
Okay.
So after that time.
Would that have been in this year or in the last,
It would have been last year.
okay, would it have been around the October timeframe that we were talking?
No, because it would have been after I actually spoke with you.
Okay.
It was in November, I think.
And did anything else get done?
Not by me.
Were you provided anything by the Fairfax County Police?
I was not.
Okay. I don't have any further questions.
Redirect?
Okay. I don't know the significance of this letter, but it is up to the Commonwealth to provide discovery. And if they didn't provide discovery or whatever this is that they're trying to figure out, that should have been done before a trial started. So I'm not really sure where we're going with this. Let's See if the prosecutor can clarify something.
And the exemplars that you were waiting for before you continued any examination of this letter, you were waiting for those exemplars from Mr. Carroll's office staff, isn't that correct?
That's my understanding, yes.
And you've never been given them?
No.
Thank you.
All right, is this witness subject to recall?
What? What? I'm sorry. What? So oh my God. She just threw him under the bus. What? So he was saying he was waiting for these exemplars. The exemplars were supposed to come from his office. Oh, okay. Okay. Look at him. Oh, you can't see him. Hang on. Look at him. He's like, what? Huh? Look at what? She just smoked you, babe. She just smoked you. Yeah.
That's, okay. Is witness subject to recall?
No, Your Honor.
Is he subject to recall? Is a possibility, okay. Since you might be subject to recall, I just want to remind you not to discuss your testimony with anybody, and you're still under the rule for witnesses, okay, sir? Okay. All right, thank you. You're free to go for today, though.
Miss Penny. Miss Penny's like, no way. But he's subject to recall, so I guess you can call him back. But she's like, nope, you had your chance. There's no questions now. But in prior trials, they allow them to ask more questions. For example, definitely in Karen Reed's case, she let them ask, that was great. And then I think in the Brian Walsh case, the judge there, Judge Frenier, did as well. She let them ask some further questions. But that was just sort of like so they could release that person. Interesting. We'll see how this plays out. I got it on my thing. Well, that's the most exciting thing that's happened today.
Right,
prosecution's like, take that.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll go ahead and take our lunch
All
break
right.
then until 2 o'clock. Again, just don't do any outside research, and please don't discuss this case with anybody, okay?
All right. So that is where we're going to stop for this stream or this lovely thing. So we are on witness number 12. Who did we have today and sort of what is going on? Okay, so we had a police person that talked about perhaps that Joe Ryan might have removed Christine Banfield's clothes. That's sort of like implied. Talked about the 2 cell phones that Joe Ryan had in his car. Then they showed the items about what was in Joe's backpack. He brought chains, exercise bands, lubricant, clothespins, I don't know, some sort of metal rod with eyelets, a gag, and a Walmart receipt, and an apricot. They tested Juliana's bed sheets for body fluids. Talked about potential droplets of blood that were found on the pants of Brendan, because we're not sure what that is. And then again, the zipper and button on Joe's pants, whose DNA might be on those. Talked a little bit about what detectives are still investigating this case and who may not be there anymore. The Banfield household bought $33,000 worth of windows and the gun range, and then this dude about some letter. So that is where we're going to leave you. Make sure you like and follow if you want to hear more from this case or other cases. See you soon. Thanks for watching Legalese 123. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe for more content.